Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the corner of Remnant.
Woo!
Yeah, and I'm joined by SheNoob.
I'm crashing their podcast.
Yes,
Again.
and of course Dawn. How is everyone today?
Hot.
Hot, yeah. There's a heat wave on the East Coast, apparently. It's freezing here, so...
Cinder, I can see the webcams are working. Stop trying to troll me.
Yeah. Nah, we're good, we're ready, we're prepared. We're late, but
Yeah,
usual.
sorry about that.
The webcast is never on time.
No,
So
neither
you're
is
doing
the
well.
corner of
No.
Remnant. Most of the time.
Excuse me while I eat from this giant jar of lollies.
Oh my god.
It's a massive jar of lollies.
It's just a big jar.
Yes.
Jeez.
Chilly over there, Pishin. Well, it's hot where Dawn is, and it's just normal here.
Ooh, pot pie.
Pot pie.
Oh, Cinder wasn't joking, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks fine on my end. Oh, I still
Yeah,
got a 480. I forgot to change it to 720. Never mind.
I'll the stream up and the Skype up and both look like they're fine.
Well, I could quickly stop and restart it, actually, just
No,
so we
I
got
think-
it at 720.
Don't.
I think we're good.
I don't think it's... Let me check the stream quality for you.
Because I noticed when I upload it on YouTube, when it's 480, it looks poo.
it looks poo.
It looks poo.
It looks poo.
No, we just had a shower, Cinder. Sorry. We got wet hair.
Yeah. Was it raining in Oz?
No.
It did rain this morning again, though.
Yeah, actually, I did hear it bucketing down this morning.
It looks fine.
You sure?
Yeah, look.
Oh, okay.
That looks
Yeah, no,
fine.
If it looks poo on YouTube, everyone's going to say in the comments it looks poo.
Well, they can all get stuffed.
Hi, people watching on YouTube.
Hi! We like you.
We like you.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
The people on YouTube we like.
The people who
Webcams
watch
are fine.
the whole stream on YouTube, we love them.
No, we did not take a shower together, Cinder. You filthy she-nerd shipper.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I'm not gonna,
Let's
I'm
talk
not
about
gonna lie,
RWBY
I'm not-
quickly.
I'm not gonna lie, he wasn't the only one who thought that when you said you guys had a shower. Just saying, my bad.
Yeah, is this better? I'll put my hood on. Ha.
Well, now I feel naked.
Well, did you bring your wife's beanie? I think you wore that on the last
No, I didn't
corner of
bring it.
Remnant. Well, it
I
was
did,
winter.
yeah. I've
Okay.
got my blue one now, too. I could have brought that, but I didn't. I'm wearing my shirt, though.
So, yes, you are. I'm just wearing one of the old RWBY ones, so.
I don't have those shirts. I'm jealous.
Well,
I was too
my
poor to
other
buy
ones-
them.
You're in the wash. And how does everyone like the new overlay too? The background,
It's
the new
pretty.
starting soon.
Tell
Yeah.
Dawn he did a good job, because
Yes,
he did.
Dawn did all of that. Cinder.
Cinder! We're here to talk about RWBY. Stop. Our overlay's very pretty.
Yes, it does look good.
But yeah, how did everyone like the episode?
Well, before we do get into the episode, just for those watching on Twitch, in case you didn't, I don't know, I'm just going to say it anyway. Spoiler alert!
Massive
Yeah, that's a good point.
spoilers for
Yeah.
episode 1. I don't know
Yes.
if it's chapter or episode. I'm sorry.
The first episode of Volume 6 is what we're discussing today.
Yeah.
So, guys, we will be talking about, spoilers, everything contained in the episode. We will not be discussing the preview for episode 2.
Brandon. I'm just going to ignore the chat for a second.
So, we're not going to talk about,
Damn it,
the
Cinder.
preview for episode 2.
Damn it, Cinder.
Okay, but we will be talking everything about the first episode and the intro, of course.
Chat, you're not helping.
Cinder, stop trolling everybody.
Yeah.
It's fine. Nobody got beheaded. There's no
But-
shocks. It's fine.
Considering the episode and the intro, and I imagine this is probably going to be a bit of a long one. But
Yes.
we will see. Some people have to catch a plane.
Oh, not till tonight. We're fine.
It's fine. If we go a little
What?
overtime, it's okay.
enough.
But yeah, in answer to your question, we loved the episode.
Max, could you not?
Maxie,
We're trying to do a podcast here.
Max is just trying to give his opinion too. He wants to join in.
I don't remember his butt having an opinion. Goodness.
Well,
look at
I
him,
think,
it's at the
I think in Chibi they established Wise Butt had an opinion, so maybe it's just a dog
Noisy
thing in Remnant.
You're an attention seeker. Yeah, so episode 1. Oh, God. I don't
It
know
doesn't
whether to
matter,
call
just
it
say
chapter
either or,
1
it doesn't
because
actually
every
matter.
other volume it said chapter blank, but this one just says episode 1. And I was like, I don't know whether to call them chapters
You're the only
now.
person who's bothered by that. No one else cares.
I know, but it bothers me because I'm like, I don't know what to title everything.
I just noticed we're probably sitting in the wrong spot because I got SheNoob here and you got Nerds of Oz there.
Whoops.
I knew you two were gonna do that. I knew it when I was typing that out. I knew you were gonna do that.
Whoops.
Wanna
Didn't
swap
even
chairs?
notice. Yeah, let's swap
If
chairs.
anyone is here, he doesn't know.
Swap
Okay,
chairs!
or you can just
Let's play musical
okay.
chairs
All right.
on stream.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay.
We should get the.
I got this. I got
the
this.
chair.
Ugh.
You
I'm
got
in
the
control
chair.
of the stream now.
Oh god, watch out.
Yeah, that chair's annoying as hell.
I'm just gonna shut the door.
There we go. We're on the right sides now.
Max, come here.
You good?
Yep. We're professional podcasters.
Sorry.
Can you tell I haven't done this for like a year?
Hey. No, you haven't done it in months. You were on corner of Remnant only a few months ago. Don't,
Oh shit, yeah, I
don't,
was.
don't give us
Yeah,
that.
soon. Yeah.
June.
You unprofessional.
You right, you right.
Damn right, I'm right.
It's only been 4 months.
But
So yeah,
anyway,
episode.
Yes.
so
So-
yeah, this is it fair to say this is probably like the best premiere RWBY's ever had?
Yeah.
Is that a
No,
fair thing
no,
to
no,
say?
no, no.
I still like
Actually-
Volume 2.
I had this discussion on my Discord because I was very quick to say that as well, but we're all forgetting the food fight.
The food fight. I don't think anything could beat the food fight.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's one thing out of that episode. Granted, it was
Yeah.
the main thing of the episode, and it was really good. To me, this whole episode, every scene was good, meant something, did something, was executed really well.
I
Yeah.
agree that objectively it's the best premiere,
Okay,
but food fight will
but the
always be my
food
favorite.
fight was better. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'll take that. I can't complain anything Monty wise. I can't complain anything. I can't disagree with anything. That
I
man
didn't
ever
bring my
did, so
cookie
that's
with me.
fine.
Sorry. You didn't bring a cookie with you. It's 6 feet over here.
We're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to
No.
get
No,
anywhere.
no, we're not.
I can
We
already
did a
tell.
12-hour stream yesterday. We are delirious.
This keeps
Yeah.
making me delirious.
This episode was definitely, objectively, the best premiere of all the volumes. It was
Yeah,
very,
I think
very
over-
good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know where to start. Really.
The
I don't
fight.
know.
I guess at the beginning,
I think-
that would
I
make
think
the most sense.
I definitely think the set pieces, because the first shot we got was like just of the backgrounds and stuff like that. I thought, yeah, they always, especially the backgrounds, especially they always get better and better every volume. And I think this especially, the snow setting, the mountains, the forests, the train. I thought it all was really, really good.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of it in episodes to come.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing where this whole volume is going to be really hard to kind of predict where and what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to August to get to Atlas, but apart from that, you know, what's happening between? Are we even going to get to Atlas this volume? Like, I got no idea.
Yeah.
Plus other side stories. You got the villains. You got Raven Ty. You got other like little subplots that are out there. So
Sorry.
Maxwell.
Max is making a lot of noise in the background right now.
Quiet. Do you have to be so noisy?
Sorry.
He's rolling around with the ball in his mouth.
I stopped trying to make predictions about where the show is going after Volume 5, Episode 2.
Yeah.
I was like, alright,
Yeah.
I have no idea where this is going anymore.
yeah, RWBY's always had that quality that never goes the way you think it's going to go,
Exactly.
and that's not a bad thing. But it always kind of goes somewhere else.
Volume 5 threw a lot of curveballs, in
It
particular.
did. It did. And I
Right.
think this volume is going to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just executed very well.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
But I don't know. Consult my notes here.
Hopefully we don't have any more Volume 4, Chapter 8s or Volume 5, Chapter 9s. That would be good.
Yes, please no.
Please, no. No more.
Meh. Either or.
We don't need any more talks.
Really? Do you know how much stuff we need we still need to explain? We still need a lot of talks. We
I
just need
mean,
to-
there are other ways to go about it than sitting down for 5 minutes around a campfire.
See, I was thinking, I like that stuff. That's why, like, if I run the show, that's all I do. Is have
I
that
do
kind of
too.
stuff.
And like
But
the
that's-
first time, it was interesting.
Mm.
The second time, it was not.
I I'm like, how they did a lot of the talking in Volume 5, I liked. I just didn't like Chapter 9,
Chapter
which just
9
dragged on with Cinder and the gang.
long.
It was too dragged on with Cinder and the gang there.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they'll keep it short and sweet little blocks of discussion.
That scene could have been 2 minutes shorter, easily. It was too long. Yeah. But, I mean, having said that, the rest of Volume 5 was pretty dang solid.
Go on, out,
Yeah. No, I agree.
Go on.
Max is being sent out of the room. Let Max in or out, check.
He was falling around on the floor again, sorry.
Technical difficulties, check. Had that at the start.
Goodness.
Where's Chozo? Is he keeping count?
Chozo is probably in bed.
Probably.
Yeah. But I really liked of the little preview got on the kind of the preview we got of the train fight scene we're going to get later in the episode. Man, I really am struggling to collect my thoughts on this because there's so much.
Yeah, there was a lot.
There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
If we go back to the start, so we had the first part of the fight scene.
Yeah.
Where Team RWBY were fighting together all four of them fighting together for the first time, which was really good. I liked a lot of the throwbacks. I mentioned it afterwards with Plays and Pieces, the fight against the Nevermore.
Yeah, that train fight, especially later in the episode, really reminded me of the Nevermore fight.
Yeah.
Just the way that they all work together to take the Sphinx down.
Yeah.
In particular.
Yeah, so that had a lot of throwbacks to that, I thought. And I liked how we started straight into that fight, and then we went back to, we had the Adam having a tantrum scene, and then back to the station. Yeah, so I thought that was really good how they did that, so...
Yeah, I love the little, re-establishment of, the teams, the small teams of Ruby and Weiss and Blake and Yang. Yeah. And, I like how, to get, there was a reason why Ozpin put them together in the first place.
You know, they kick ass.
Whether that's his divine intervention or he's just good at what he does, he could tell there was something there. There's something, at least in their fighting, in their mannerisms as fighters and stuff that make they just really work well together. Even if they have personal issues during the fights, they just have great teamwork.
Yeah.
They
put it all aside, yeah.
Yeah, they put it all aside during fights. And I kind of like that. They re-established, during a fight, when Blake and Yang are thinking about fighting, they work really well together. Outside of a fight, when they have time to think, they don't get along so super well.
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
Yeah. So I really like that. Obviously, it's always, ironic that Yang calls Blake rusty when she's one who has a robot arm and hasn't been fighting. She probably assumes that Blake hasn't been fighting. She's been in menagerie, just relaxing.
Yeah.
I love that.
The case.
No, that's not exactly the case. I love, Weiss, Thank Me Later, then Ruby, Thank Me Later, and then we've got the nice little semblance mixed cool, which is a nice re-establishment of that cool little thing that she did back with Norma.
I love the rose petals, how they were frozen.
They were half red and half white.
Yeah.
Were they? I didn't.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
I just noticed that they were more pink than red. I didn't really notice.
It's sort of like they gradiented from white at the tip to red.
Okay.
It's a small little detail, but it's the small details that...
Because I like the idea that, Ruby uses a semblance on things, not just herself. She can use it, she normally uses it on her cape. She applies the semblance to her cape, and that's why it has the rose petal effects. Just that, or, in the Beowulf statue, she applies it to a scythe. And it has the rose effects of the scythe coming off it. And she can apply that to other people, with Nora and Weiss.
Yeah.
Did that. So it's cool, just again, more establishing of what this semblance is capable of doing and that kind of thing.
Cinder, just want to address something Cinder said in the chat here. It's less to do with budget. Actually, it's almost nothing to do with budget, and more to do with the skill of the animators involved.
Yeah.
To do with the fight mechanics and the fight animation. Has almost nothing to do with the budget. Just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, I know. That didn't really bother me, I don't think. The visual look of his injury, that was fine.
That guy. Yeah, the guy who, not necessarily broken his arm, but I don't know. Oh, I guess it did kind of sound like it broke, didn't it?
Yeah. It did definitely sound like it broke, but that's what happens when you break a limb. It does bruise on the surface. So
yeah.
I didn't find anything wrong.
Again, if the only visual really sign you can tell if you break a limb is if the limb falls off, or two, the bone goes through the skin. How else are they going to show visually you're broken, especially in this kind of animation where it's not super realistic. So.
Cinder, have you ever broken a limb? Because it does bruise like a bitch on the surface. Mm-hmm. When I broke my foot, it bruised like a bitch.
Same.
Yeah.
It comes up with a bruise.
That's exactly what it looks like. So, yeah. I didn't find any problem with it.
And also, speaking of re-establishment, we re-established the girls. We also set towards re-establishing Adam.
Yeah.
As a straight. Of course, many people. Okay, I know, Beck. Come on, just let's be unbiased.
I know, but like,
we're announcing the story, not the characters themselves.
I know.
Unbiased here. You can be unbiased in a second. You can be biased in a second.
Okay.
But because a lot of people thought he was, buried. To use a wrestling term here. He was buried in Volume 5, where he was no longer a threat, seemingly. Which I've said 100 times. I don't think that's the case. I thought it was a nice parallel between what Adam did to Blake in Volume 3. It was a parallel to what then reversed what happened in Volume 5. Again, executed perfectly? No. But so reestablishes him, puts him on this mental path, and kind of takes down the White Fang. And he has his little tantrum, sure. But I like the reestablishment that this is no longer about the White Fang. This is just about Blake and Adam, which I like. I like that they're now doing
personal.
one
it's
of the
personal two. Now. Yeah.
Yeah, they the fact that they've always had White Fang and Blake was always kind of a mix of which two he really cared about. I'm glad now they've just chosen one, and just gone on this vendetta path Adam has against Blake, and then we're going to get Blake and Yang versus Adam, hopefully.
I feel like it has always been personal for Adam. And I feel like he was using White Fang a lot as an excuse for his very unhealthy obsession with Blake.
Yeah. Not just that too. He uses the White Fang to push every agenda he has.
Yeah, of course.
Whether it's Blake or anything else he has.
Yeah. Mr. Agenda.
Yeah. Yeah, no, very much. He's very much using that in the case. Yeah. And I also like the little effect after he cut his throat. You saw his hair kind of just, you didn't see it glow, but I like the little details like that in this episode where it just had little effects and little indications of
little subtle things. Yeah.
Very subtle, very, very subtle things. I like that. All the small attention to detail kind of thing. And that also then ties into, Adam. One, obviously, in the intro, showing that Yang still thinks about Adam as well. And also, if Adam was on the train or not. Because I've had a few people assume that he actually was there on the train.
Yeah.
During what I think was Blake's hallucination. The evidence I've heard people say for that is when Crow is bad-mouthing the two about the door of the caboose being open, apparently that might have been Adam sneaking into the train. Because the two guys also didn't know that the door was open, so maybe Adam snuck in then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was a hallucination, and I like the fact that...
I thought it was a hallucination.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a hallucination.
Yeah. I don't think Blake... Some people have said shit, they're now giving Blake PTSD along with Yang, which I don't think is the case at all.
No.
I think they're just re-establishing... Again, this episode did a lot of re-establishing. Blake has always been a paranoid character, and that's what this was. It was just paranoia.
Yep.
Because Blake had one victory, one moment of bravery, one moment of triumph. That doesn't fix everything.
No.
She upstaged Adam once. That doesn't mean she's now done with Adam and she's like, oh yeah, I've conquered Adam, I'm fine now. No.
Yeah.
She probably, again, like we've always said, she probably gone through years of abuse and years of, again, at a time, I do think loving Adam, and then to see him change in front of her eyes.
Yeah.
It's still going to be always on her mind. And also every time she sees Yang, I'm sure, gets the same thing in her head and she realizes what happened there.
And I think also too it was a lot of her brain just playing tricks on her because of where she was and what she was doing was reminding her of events from the Black trailer.
Yep.
And
exactly.
how her role was reversed at the time.
And there were a lot of a lot of callbacks in this episode to a lot of other volumes. Again, Blake, that's now the third time Blake has cut the caboose on a train.
Yeah.
Which is always funny, those little kind of callbacks. I don't remember where it was from, but where in the series did Blake say "on it" before? She's on, she was someone told her to do something. She said "on it." I said, was it?
It was no brakes, and it was when Oobleck told her to detach the caboose.
Yeah,
she said
because
Ruby
said to Blake, "We need to ground him," and she said "on it," and I'm like, "Did you say she used the same voice line?" Because that sounded so that just.
She has said it a few times, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because I just love that "on it," and I just realized that's a thing, a natural response she has. It's oh, that's a cool little subtle detail.
I think the train stuff gave everyone a lot of deja vu in this episode, and I think it's very deliberate on their part.
Well, yeah, and also again, it's easier to work off what they know, and they've done trains before. So, like, you know, for the Caribbean stuff, also it was easier for them to work off because they've done stuff like that in the past. Maybe because it was grim, but I think this train, at least in terms of the above train stuff, not the interior stuff, but the above train stuff was better than stuff we got in Volume 2. Like, you know, them all kicking the white fang grunts was cool and all, but this, top train scene I thought was just really, really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Putting the inside the cars stuff aside from Volume 2, talking about just the top of the train. Yeah.
That's
definitely.
That's like one-on-one
definitely
combat.
so much better. Yeah.
You know, and apart from, I think, Crow and Tyrion, we haven't, maybe Blake and Ilya, although Blake and Sun, although short, there's only two other ones that have kind of gotten close to matching the one-on-one fights from Volumes like 1 and 2. I'm trying to think of the other. When we get back to the train scene, train station scene, and RWBY and Yang are mucking about over the gift.
Yeah, the gift
RWBY
bag.
has.
The gift bag. Yeah.
And Nora budges in.
Yes.
And it reminded me of when she did that in Plays and Pieces.
Yes.
It was like, RWBY, Yang,
Nora!
She did the same thing. She pushed him out of the way and just was like saying her own shit. I just love that. Oh, so many little references and stuff in this. I really like
I love the train scene. Moving on to the train scene, the train station.
Yeah,
just there was a lot of little moments in there. I just really loved. I loved they were using a lot of the anime sort of style, like with the bright colours and the little effects and everything. Remind me back of Volume 1.
Missed a lot of that.
I love they added a lot of that into that scene.
Yeah, like Ren's little scene.
Ren's
That's funny.
Yes.
As much as when I first saw that, I thought it was Nora imagining it. I guess it was Ren imagining himself.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I was like, oh, okay.
I know. I thought the same thing at first, and I was like, oh wait, that's Ren.
Or maybe they're both imagining.
I love Ren's such a subtle character that any little thing you get from him is always so satisfying.
Yes.
I think I like that that's his character, that he doesn't have a personality, but when it does, it just seems like, oh my god, who is this person? I love it. It's great.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that little gift, if that gift will come back, if that's anything
I know
in the
she's
future.
hoping it will. She wants to know what it
I
was.
want to know what it is. Yeah.
I think that'd be a cool little thing. Going in the future, but I have no idea what it is. Like, I'm just trying to think what it might be, but I got no idea what it could be.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it again now. But
I really hope we do. Because
imagine it's just like a little keychain, something like an arm or something, like a hang in there or something like that to give to Yang or something like that. Something just use this, feel better kind of thing. And
I couldn't even imagine what it could possibly be. So I'm like,
I'm not sure. I like again, subtle, short, sweet. Weiss is establishing that she doesn't want to go back to Atlas, and like I've got a lot of trouble to leave there again. It's just subtle little stuff like that where it's just like implying, Weiss doesn't want to go back to Atlas, but she has to. That's cool. I'm surprised we didn't get anything about the scarf, but we might get that later or stuff like that. But again, cool little nod to her grandfather. I like it. I did think that one of the reasons why they might have done it, at least in story-wise, is that since Mistral was like the capital of crime in Remnant, I wonder if it was done to hide a jewel, like in public.
I don't know.
I don't think she was thinking about that as much as she was thinking about how freaking cold it is. But I don't think Weiss is too worried about robbers somehow.
Yeah, that's true. I just thought that'd be a nice little subtle detail to add to it. That's all.
Yeah.
It's like a little extra little layer kind of thing.
Which is already like with all her little suitcases there. She's
4 different suitcases, even though she brought nothing with her from Atlas. Where did all the friggin' suitcases come from?
I had someone ask me that, and I said, well, maybe they got a little bonus for helping out with the saving Haven, and Weiss went on a shopping spree.
Was the bonus clothes?
No, money, as in money.
I see.
Leanne.
I see.
It might be one of those things, because obviously everyone's like, oh, we're going to get new costumes, and it's like, we still might. That could be what's in the outfits, and they're just waiting to change clothes, like, to not spoil it. They're waiting for a reveal.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I don't think so, but that'll be a cool little thing.
I'm still hopeful that once they actually get to Atlas, they'll change costume. Yeah.
But again, it doesn't bother me that much, because it is not the most necessary thing to do in the world, like, especially in this volume where they're trying to cut out extra fluff. Like, that is when they did one character short kind of thing. But also, there's the idea, I've brought it up, I don't know if I brought it up on stream before, that, aura protects against dust elements. It could very well protect against weather elements.
It could, yeah.
So they could, cold and wet. I wish I fucking had aura right now so it wouldn't be so hot. It could be something like that. But that's something I think would be nice to get a little line to just establish that if we don't get new outfits. If that's the case, then I think I'd be fine with it. I liked Dee and Dudley. Those are cool. I like them. They were cool little just idiots.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum, as everyone's referring to them as. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with Pishin in the chat. I definitely got immediate death flags. I was like, one of them's going to be dead in about 5 minutes. It wasn't even that.
I like their design. I thought they looked cool.
Yeah. Especially Dudley, so I'm glad Dee died, because I like Dudley. Dudley was cool.
I'm glad Dee died.
And,
wow.
Just out of the two, one of them has to die out of the two. And also, Dudley is voiced by the same guy who voiced the blacksmith in Volume 4.
Oh, right.
It's the same actor. Chris Guerrero.
Familiar.
Yeah, Chris Guerrero from these blacksmith in Volume 4. Did we cover all from the train station scene? I like their reaction, like just Weiss rolling her eyes, Ruby slumping over, Yang just like not dealing with it. That was such a good little scene.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And then when Crow walked in and they were pulling faces behind him.
Yeah, that was cute.
I think Dan mentioned it in one of his videos, but I like the fact that Crow's name was spelled wrong on his thing, as if he was drunk when he typed it out.
I didn't see that.
I didn't know that.
BRANW. Like there was some extra letter or something like that. It was just funny. It was just Crow and Bronwyn was spelled wrong.
Oh,
so I don't know if that was just a mistake or if, like I was like,
it could have been a mistake.
I'm just gonna interpret it as Crow was drunk when he typed out his huntsman.
That's funny.
I find that more
Bronwyn it was spelled. Okay.
Oh,
that could have been an error, but let's go with not.
Let's just go with that. Crow was drunk when he filled it out.
Positive interpretation. Was there anything else in the train station? Oh yeah, well, I guess we'll jump into. Well, one thing I did notice, especially during the train station scene, is that the background was. This was the only time in this episode, and I'm glad it wasn't a constant thing because I thought it was going to be, where the backgrounds now look so good that the models almost look like they're just on a green screen. It was only during the it was mostly just during the scene where, from Dee and Dudley's perspective, looking at Crow, Ruby, and Yang. And also because they put the background out of focus, and that didn't help the case.
Oh, okay.
But that's, I think, a good sign when the background looks so good, the models now look almost out of place. But it was only that one scene. I didn't notice it the rest of the episode.
The backgrounds are really detailed,
Yeah. The thing about backgrounds is you want them to be so detailed and so real that you don't want people to notice the background. And that's the trouble with backgrounds, is that you put all this work into making it look so realistic and nobody notices it. But that's the effect that you want. You want people to focus on the foreground.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that right now, actually. Because so first off, love Ilya's new little outfit.
I love her outfit.
She looked so good. I wanted to eat her up.
I wanted to cosplay it.
Not in a weird way. God. She's like 16. Come on.
I already started considering cosplay. I was like, no, Larissa, no. It's only your first episode.
I know. I can't wait to see Ilya cosplayers.
I've already seen some.
I hope that's not the last we see of that now, because that would be a shame for that outfit to only be in one scene.
I don't think so, though. In
fact, I don't think it'll be the last scene unless the next scene is Ilya and Adam. I'll say that. As long as... If that's the next scene of Ilya, that will be the last time we see that character.
Oh, don't say that. That makes me worried.
Well, everyone else is still
Damn it,
Mistral.
I just got quoted.
I'm just happy that Sun got away from Mistral because Adam's still there. I love that. Again, I've said it 100 times now, but I love the re-establishment in this episode with Ilya and Blake, that Ilya was saying, like, that Blake's always trying to save the world. Because... I always run through the idea of, like, why are these girls still helping Oz? Why are these girls still doing the... And again, the obvious answer is just because it's the right thing to do. And just to save the world. I get that. But I just like the kind of, like... Again, since Volume 1, Blake's always been about doing what's best for the world. Like, she's always trying to save the world in her own way. And for her, her whole life, that was the White Fang. The faunus was the biggest problem in the world. And that's why she was in the White Fang. And now she's learned that there's this bigger threat out there. That's what she realized she has to go deal with.
Yeah.
Right? And I like that when Ilya says, like, you're always trying to save the world. I just really, really like that. And Ilya's obviously sad to see Blake go. But then we get what is probably, excluding fight scenes, my favorite part of the whole episode. with us, Sun and Blake.
Yeah.
And and of course, as hardcore fan, I love Neptune's return so much.
I screamed when Neptune.
Just wait till you see our reaction. I was
so excited to see Neptune,
I knew that was going to happen too. I was aware of that.
I was so excited. I was like, finally!
So happy because Kara even said on RWBY Rewind that Neptune's in Mistral. He's just just not
hanging out.
And again, the more I think about it, obviously. The girls and Crow and Ozpin and Oscar were all looking for huntsmen. They weren't looking for more students.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And the students were off anyway. So, but no, I loved how casual it was. As if it's not a big deal. Because I don't think it should be. So I'm glad that, Neptune just showed up very casually and did all that. I love him hitting on Ilya. That was the funniest thing.
Yes. Wrong tree.
So... He'll figure it out.
He'll figure it out.
It was so... I know some people think Neptune's a sleaze or whatever, but I love him. I love him so much. I can't hate the man. He tries. You can't hate someone just for trying. He's not doing it in a rude way, I don't think.
No.
I will say, although it doesn't bother me, it is a little I'm saying we didn't see any sort of Neptune Weiss, but that's just a 100% personal shipping preference. But I don't mind it. I don't.
No.
We'll get to Vacuo eventually.
But on the subject of wrong tree, I found that line from Blake interesting because there was a lot of debate over Ilya being the first sort of LGBT character in RWBY.
Yeah.
Is she bisexual or is she gay? And I feel like that line probably definitely cements that Ilya is gay.
It was confirmed in the Q&A. It was confirmed in the Q&A that she was lesbian.
I didn't see the Q&A.
That was confirmed back during Volume 5 by someone.
I did not see that.
It was in the Q&A.
But
that had been confirmed, but it's first in-show confirmation.
For me, who's someone who didn't see that, that was the sort of in-show confirmation that, yes, Ilya fits into this.
And again, as you are someone who watches the show and doesn't absorb every other piece of information out there, so you like getting in-show explanations for stuff.
Yeah, ordinarily I would have seen that Q&A, but I just missed it for some reason. So
that was that was established by Miles something at some point where it's this is the first lesbian character. And I love Sun's reasoning. I don't regret coming to help you, but I do need to go and make things right with my team. I am a leader. I have to be better.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Callie Exon who was like the idea of Sun being Mary Poppins. He goes where he's needed.
I go where I'm needed.
I love that. And
and I was saying it. Need me anymore.
I was saying it before the stream, guys, but I was so I cried. I loved it. It was the perfect thing because as much as I am a Black Sun shipper more than Bumblebee. I do like Black Sun more than Bumblebee.
Me too.
But I love Black Sun as well.
But the caveat to that is I like the idea just as much that Sun, and I don't mean in a misogynistic way, so don't take me as anti-feminist or anything like that. But I like the idea of Sun giving Blake to Yang, saying, "Hey, you're better with her," in a way. Where again, you're there who you need to be, and again,
that's
not
who
directly.
You're supposed to be with.
It didn't mean directly at Yang, but I just like the idea of him, hey, it was never about this. I was there to help you. Yes, I did. Even though he said it wasn't about that, I do think, yes, I love her. Yes, I care for her. Yes, I love to be with her. But that's not what is necessary. That's not what has to be. What is best for her is to be with her team, and what happens with that, so be it. But you need to be there.
There's bigger things at work. There's bigger problems than just the two.
Yeah, it was such an unselfish, selfless moment.
And it's like what he said to Neptune, it was never about that.
Yeah, he says it was never about that.
Yeah.
And because he knows that there's a lot more at stake than just what he his wants are not important compared to everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
But then I love the just a little the reconfirmation. This is not the last time you see me, or it's it's like a red flag that no, we're not going to see him again.
No, I'm more of the mind that it's them saying, "Don't worry, Sun will be back.
Sun will come back."
Yeah.
Which is cool because also
part of the story for the moment.
Yeah.
Because even though it is canon, but even though it's not necessarily a guarantee, if we do get to Vecchio, we'll also get coffee as well. Hopefully, because they're currently in Vecchio.
I miss Team Coffee.
So that's cool. you know, I love they played the sun theme again, the SSN theme from the Indigo Sun fight.
Yeah. That was good.
Little out of place, but I don't mind out of place scores and themes when it just makes sense to the characters.
Yeah.
Like I can remember someone saying that when they played Boop in episode 10 of Volume 4, after the Knuckle Leak, felt really out of place. And I'm
when they played what? Sorry,
Boop.
They played the Boop.
No,
score.
I love that.
No,
I thought it was really.
Volume 4, episode 10. No way, that wasn't out of place at all.
Granted, for the context that everyone's just dead and there's a monster still walking around, it kind of does.
No, it's the first moment when Ren and Laura support each other, so
it makes sense.
I don't agree, but I'm saying I'm giving other people's perspectives, so I've seen stuff. But no, I loved seeing the some stuff, and then I loved the parallel. We got the 4 bunk beds again on the train.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yes, I love that scene. It was so cool. It was so good.
Freaking Weiss just being annoyed at Ruby's cape.
Yeah, it was almost like nothing had changed, but at the same time, so much had changed, and it just like it looked almost the same, but you can feel that the vibe is different.
Did Blake's bag have little fishies on it? I know it was like a backpack.
Yeah,
but
it was a camo bag, but the camo itself, like the light greys were fishes.
Oh,
and it made it that camo bag. It made it look like camo, cool. But it was fishes.
I don't know if it was a backpack, but
yeah. I love also the role reversal. I feel like I've almost seen where between Weiss and Yang. What I mean by that is at the start of the series, Yang was the motherly character. She was the teenager, but also the motherly character at the same time. But now, to me, Weiss seems like the most supportive character in the show. Like, I don't think Weiss is going to get too much spotlight until we get to Atlas. She's just going to be the support character. She's going to be the mother figure. She's going to, like she was to Yang in Volume 5, Episode 8.
Yeah.
Where she's giving her the talk, because just the little things, like, granted Ruby did as well, but like Ruby and Yang popping out the side of the screen behind Yang. And it just made me feel like Weiss, all she wants to do now is just make up for the bitch she was, almost, in Volumes 1 and 2.
Or not so much make up for being horrible before, but like make up for lost time with her team. And she's just so happy to be back with her team.
Yeah.
Because she...
And they're just showing it so well. Like, she doesn't care what's going on. She's just happy to be back.
Yeah. And I don't think she realised how much it meant to her until it was all taken away.
Yeah, 100%. No, 100% agree with that.
And now that she's back, she's not going to let it go without a fight.
One of the first things I noticed...
Don't say anything about the Chapter 2 title, Wade. Sorry, just going to catch that in the chat. We don't want to know. Don't tell us right now.
No Chapter 2 stuff.
Yeah. We might look at it later, but
we'll look later, but not on the podcast.
Yes. Not on the podcast.
When Yang was looking through the magazine...
Just checking.
The first thing I thought what Yang was looking at was the dishwasher motorbike from RWBY 3.0. Remember when she's looking for the magazine? You guys know what I'm talking about? Like the dishwasher, the dishwasher. Yeah. When she's looking through the magazine, you can see this like yellow thing, and I thought almost they put that in the show because I know he does work for Rooster Teeth to some degree now.
He does,
I think it's a Genlock concept artist or something. It was just like I think it was just like her arm had gone on sale. Like after they had made it for Yang, they've now since put it on sale or something.
I might have to have a closer look.
But I looked at it, I'm like, was that the black? But I think it was just her arm. They finally put that out on sale after they made it for her, or something to that degree, or an upgraded version of her arm.
I think it was arm upgrades. It would be funny if it was, if she's looking for a magazine of arm upgrades.
But I thought it was like the black.
Vibration mechanic.
Cool. That was a cool nod to the black. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Then we get Blake just desperately doing anything to kind of make up for Yang, and I like this scene again for how subtle it was. It wasn't overbearing.
No.
It wasn't. Because as much as I think, because I do like my conflict, as much as I would like Yang to hate Blake to a degree, and I don't think it would be that unreasonable for her too, I do like that she's like, again, for the sake of the team, and same reason it was in Volume 5, and same reason when she said, I will just do whatever Ruby says, she always knows what's right. Yang just wants to do what's best for the team. And in a team sense, she's like, hey, we'll be fine, just give us some time.
Yeah.
Sort this out. And again, we are going to get the burnt out candle, whatever the episode was called. We're going to get that talk part 2. We're going to get the other end of it.
Yeah.
Burning the candle. We're going to get the burning a candle part 2.
Yeah.
We're going to get that again.
We have to have. There is going to be.
I would love that's the episode title.
Yeah.
Where that happens. It's like Burning the Candle Part 2. That'd be amazing.
There's going to be confrontation between Blake and Yang, but Yang knows that now there's more pressing matters at hand than her abandonment issues right now.
Yeah, she's more focused on dealing with Ozpin shit than she is dealing with Blake shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'd like that the scene shows that at least Blake knows how badly she screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that she's really trying very hard to make up for it.
Yeah, and you can even tell she almost doesn't accept the fact that Yang accepts her. Like she's not even comfortable with Yang being, it's all right, we'll get there. She's almost like, this doesn't seem right. Like, you know, she almost doesn't feel like this is not right. I like Crow. He had the little martini. That was cool. Cool callback to the old video games thing in Volume 3. And then I love because Blake wasn't a part of the talk in neither was Yang and Weiss, but I love that Blake was like, just my luck, and Crow's like, no, it's not yours.
Yeah, and Blake's oblivious to like everything that happened in Volume 4, so she's just so out of the loop.
That was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get the Sphinx and Manticore stuff. Again, yes.
The other side of the fight this time. I like how we showed one side of it and then it showed the other side.
Yeah, it's always weird to me to think that a Sphinx is more significant than a Manticore. For some reason, that seemed weird to me. I think this is because as a Pokemon fan, there's a Pokemon called Sphinx, and it's based on a Sphinx, but it's like a really weak Pokemon.
Yeah.
And like all the lion Pokemon are so strong, so it's
that's
weird
probably where that's coming from for you.
Yeah.
I would say.
And it's where Chris was coming on, because Chris said it looked like a Pokemon.
He said it looked
like an ancient
like
Egyptian god kind of thing. I shouldn't think of a Sphinx so poorly, but
well, that's the thing. Like, those of us who don't play Pokemon, a Sphinx to me would be like one of the big sort of mythical creatures. Yeah. But just on the subject of role reversals, before we get too far away from it.
100%. Interrupt me as much as you want. I'm tired of talking already.
No, it's fine. I'll let you talk. On the subject of like role reversals, I noticed a lot how much like as the partnerships within Team RWBY, RWBY and Weiss and Blake and Yang have swapped roles completely. Where like in earlier volumes, RWBY and Weiss kind of butted heads and didn't really mesh completely until probably into Volume 3. And then but Blake and Yang have always been quite cohesive as a partnership, but now they've swapped completely. They're the opposite. Blake and Yang are at odds with each other, and RWBY and Weiss, and it's shown again in the intro when like RWBY's chasing Weiss through the train, are so cohesive now. And it's really interesting how they've swapped over like that.
And Weiss supporting RWBY at the end of the intro too.
Yeah. And there was a lot in the intro of RWBY and Weiss being like, these guys are like tight.
And I really like how they're establishing them as like the best friends kind of thing.
Yeah, that's like exactly.
Their stuff at this point feels more cutesy than shippy in any way. Not to say it couldn't be. I mean, that
doesn't feel shippy to me.
It didn't feel shippy to me, but I could see why the ship is.
It feels very childish almost, and I like that. Like Weiss is now able to make up for lost time. Yeah, she's now being more childlike because she didn't have that option as a child.
She didn't
and
like
whereas,
Where before,
RWBY,
when she was with Team RWBY, she was, a tight ass basically, and like, and now I feel like she's bouncing really well off of RWBY, and she's like absorbing RWBY's energy and just.
And also RWBY has taken so much of what Weiss was telling her in Volume 1. In this episode alone, RWBY is the best RWBY I think I've seen all RWBY.
Oh yeah,
God, that was
the best RWBY of all RWBY.
This was RWBY at her best. This was RWBY being a leader. This was RWBY being her fun self. This was RWBY just written as the best RWBY has to offer as RWBY.
RWBY. Say RWBY again.
Because Weiss, because RWBY Rose was such a just.
Let me clarify. RWBY Rose.
There were like 2 to 3 different parts in this photo where she was just a leader and she was just being so good, and it's like, yes, awesome, great.
Just a switch between happy and being serious really quickly as well.
She knows how to step up to the plate as a leader.
Yeah.
As Weiss chose her.
Yeah, and speaking of leaders, I really like how John in this episode didn't feel, to me, underused like he was in Volume 5. Like, he didn't feel like such a background character like he did in Volume 5. But he didn't feel the front and center character like he'd say he did in Volume 4.
No. Yeah.
I like that he kind of felt back to like how he was in volumes like say 2 and 3, not so much volume 1, but volumes 2 and 3, where he just felt like. And again, Jean was much like RWBY. They both grew up together, which is again why them departing. Because this will be the first time Jean and RWBY haven't been together the entire show.
Yeah.
That is why, again, they've both grown up so much and are both such parallels to each other. Like, you think back to their talk in Volume 4 in Kurayuri, and, you know, between how they started to this, and you just see just how much they do care for each other and how much they've grown off each other.
Even back to their talk in Volume 1.
Yeah,
like chapter, what was it, 12 or something?
13, I think it was.
13? Yeah, Jaundice, I think it was, wasn't it?
No, it was,
Forever Full.
Forever Full 1. That was 13.
Yeah,
Forever Full.
You're right.
Yeah.
But, like, they're both leaders of teams, and they both got thrust into leadership roles they weren't sure that they were right for. And RWBY kind of, like, picked him up when he was down and said, you're a leader, you have to be a leader. You don't get it. You don't get to be, you know, a failure. That's what she said, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And, like, again, with the Kurayuri talk in Volume 4, where he's like, you gave us the courage to follow you.
Yeah, it was like almost the opposite.
Yeah.
Where Jean was now saying to RWBY.
Jean just has so much faith in RWBY, I think. He's got a lot of faith in her and in her ability, and I think, in a lot of ways, he strives to be like her as a leader.
Yeah.
And, like you said, they haven't separated since the beginning of the show, since the the second episode.
Yeah.
And they were the first people they each met at Beacon as well. So there's that long-established camaraderie between them and long-established friendship that hasn't ever really been spoken about in so many words between the two of them.
It's never needed to be.
No, it's never needed to be. It's just always been there.
It's such a show-don't-tell kind of relationship between those two.
And that's why he's like, as long as you promise you'll meet us there. Like, he has faith in her and her ability and her plan, but there's that also that worry that, like, you know, make sure that you meet us there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just both their facial reactions in that scene. RWBY's especially after, like, again, like, before she said, I promise. It was just, like, concern to understanding to happiness. And it was just so good. It was just so well done. And that's the whole thing, like, about this episode. Like, everything was done. And granted, I felt the same way about Volume 5, Episode 1.
Yeah.
And a lot of the earlier season stuff were always just better because they worked on it for more time. They had just, they had more time to flesh things out, that kind of thing. So the earlier episodes are always going to be more or less the better episodes. But, you know, such a great start and you know, for this. Then we got into the fights. And I liked that this was the first fight in a long time where, regardless of the choreography, regardless of what you think of the choreography, it just felt right.
Yeah,
it did.
Everything felt right. Every character, every movement, and like as a whole, the characters' fighting styles, what they're doing, where they are, like the spatial awareness. Like I think this was just a more closer done group that must have done this whole scene, because everything just like, very rarely was anything out of place. Very rarely was any character not doing anything. Very rarely was any, you know, like. Like I love RWBY used her scythe so much in this, because that was one of the things people were saying that, you know, she only used a gun in now, or when she did use, she didn't use it. Like, RWBY was you know, red trailering it up here.
Yeah.
With, like, you know, shooting back and forth, like shooting the groom's arm off, jumping on top of her, shooting off the head.
She was saving a semblance, I think, so because she didn't want to use up all her aura, so she's probably saving a semblance in case she needed it.
Yeah. What's one of the things I don't think in the fight she would have needed to it. Again, like, apart from saving Weiss from the tunnel. And that's the thing too, like, again, like, or even Weiss, you know, she didn't try summon. Blake didn't overuse her shadows.
She used it once.
She used it once.
Yeah, I think she didn't overuse her shadows. That's what I said. And Yang still hasn't used her semblance since Volume 4. No, 3.
3.
Fuck.
Been a long time.
It has been.
Yeah, and I like that too. And speaking of semblances, I don't know how they did something so nothing and made it so epic. How did Ren, just putting his hand on a train with Jean's arm on his shoulders, be as epic as it was?
It was so
good. I think it had a lot to do with the sweeping tracking shot through the train of the grayscale going for it. That was really good.
It was so good.
Just the music as well, but that was, to me, one of those epic parts of the whole episode.
It was really epic.
It was.
Just a look, but it just was, they just, with like, you said, lighting, the monotone, and the music just made it feel so awesome.
And it was really good to see Jean, like, using his semblance. Not, like, The only time we've seen him use it was by accident. This is him actually using his semblance and utilizing what it can do. And also the first time we've seen him amplify someone's semblance as well, like amplify their aura so they could use their semblance to a greater ability.
That's how Weiss was able to summon the
It could well have been, but I feel like it was more about him healing her.
Yeah, I think it's more that your aura was...
Well, I think because she used a glyph and she said, keep it up, which to me was John powering up that.
It could well have
been. But I thought also it was more just him just topping up her aura, so it was up to full.
Yeah, but just the way she had the glyph in her hand when she said that, that's all. And it was a new glyph she hadn't used before because it was the Lancer glyph. But, again, open to interpretation overall.
Yeah. And, this
was like the first direct use of it, yes.
Yeah, him just going up to Dudley and being, like, just casually using his semblance to amplify his aura to...
I do remember one point we do get, like, a fight scene where Jean actually runs out, and we actually get to see the possible negativity of his semblance. Because, you know, he's used his semblance heaps, but he's never done it with a point where he'd run out yet. So I hope we get that at some point.
Yeah.
That'd be a little nice little thing. I'm trying to think more of the fight, but I can't. I like Crow. I love Crow. You know, being Crow and actually kind of using his scythe. Turning into a crow and just... Yeah, it was really awesome. It was just, this was the first time, not counting Winter and Crow, or even Winter and, even Crow and Tyrion, because just him fighting Grimm. Because, you know, because they're huntsmen at the end of the day. You know, Crow is clearly a very good fighter with his sword, but we haven't seen him fight enough Grimm for him to use his scythe. Yeah. Because that's to me the distinction, you know. The scythe is better against Grimm, whereas the sword is better against one-on-one combat. And to me, that makes perfect sense. So it's cool seeing him use his scythe in this way. And I like that he didn't feel overpowered. Like, he felt on level with the girls, in a sense. Like, the girls were as good as him. Like, he was taken out of Volume 4, because, you know, if he was doing the Knuckle Leaf fight, it probably would have been a lot easier. But I think more importantly, it wasn't his fight to fight. Yeah. It was the Ren's fight, Nora's fight, and John and Ruby's fight. Yeah. But just here, seeing him, like... And also, he was the one dealing with the Sphinx, and the others were dealing with the Manticore. So you could also argue that he was still being better than them because he was versing a powerful Grimm. Yeah. But that was just cool, seeing them all interact and fight like that. Crow especially.
And one of my favourite bits, of course, with Ruby and Crow doing the whole scythe attack.
Yes.
The music of that, the animation. Yes. It was just so cool.
So many Red Trailer vibes. And also, like, you can really see in that part how, like, okay, Crow... obviously trained Ruby, taught her how to fight with the scythe, and you can see the parallels between them.
Like, they're both doing the same
teacher and protege, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, it was so cool.
Because as awesome as like Crow and Ruby versus Tyrion was for that small bit we got it, this was cool seeing them both use their scythes. Yeah. In this little scene. But I also love that. Like, I love Blake and Yang with the Gamble Shroud to hold the thing down. That was awesome. Again, just the motion was like 1, 2, 3, push, punch down. Like, it was just such a good, and the camera work.
So fluid.
Yeah, you saw the whole context of it. Yang Blake held it down. That was so awesome.
And of course,
also Weiss freezing its wings off. Yeah, so that couldn't awesome. Fly.
At first, what was Weiss doing? And then, and also, I didn't realize that they had shot. I thought like the momentum of the train. And the wind would have shattered the wings. But yeah, it was obviously Crow and Ruby shot the wings.
I actually didn't see them shoot
I didn't see them shoot the wings, yeah.
Well
they just shattered all of a sudden.
Well, yeah, that's why when it cuts after the wings have disappeared, it cuts to a scene of both Ruby and Crow pointing their guns at them.
And then
I have to look at that again.
Yeah.
And then they transition into holding the gun backwards so they can propel themselves.
Yeah.
I was loving Weiss's use of her glyphs in this fight as well. Like, I'm loving how much she's using them to like skate through midair. And like, she just rocks up in front of the Sphinx like, ha!
It's not like just going. She's now like ice skating back and forth rather than just going straight.
And she's just like standing in midair, like. It's so good.
All the times in the background, she was actually just on her glyphs fighting to be more level with the Grimm, which is more of an advantage as a higher platform and stuff. Which is again nice little subtlety there.
And then again, she using her gravity glyphs to keep everyone on top of the train as it was crashing as well. I'm like, that's the second time she saved everybody's skin from a train crash now. Last time she used the ice case.
Now we should see her use her time dilation again.
Yeah.
Then we'll get everything.
I want to see her use time dilation again, but it wasn't appropriate here, obviously.
No.
But,
No, I'm not saying she should have used it here. I'm just saying that's the ability that we haven't seen since, I think she used it twice in Volume 2, and that was it.
That was it, yeah. And I'm sure we'll see it again at some point.
Yeah. So what else?
Well, we want to talk about... you go first.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention something, because Beck, you mentioned it, I think it was in your trailer reaction or something. You mentioned the scene where Nora and Ren do the swing around and throw.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you didn't like how that looked.
I thought
it felt a bit slow.
It could have been a little bit faster. It did feel a little slow. I still loved it.
It almost felt like it was in slow motion accidentally. Is what it felt like.
It could have been a little bit.
It was a little slow. Like I feel like it should have.
It did start in slow motion to kind of build up the tension of the action itself.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt like physics wise, it should have been fast, like a little bit faster. But it's just one of those little things that sort of.
Whereas, see, my opinion, I would have everything in RWBY almost slowed down because I think everything in RWBY is almost too fast. So that's why it didn't bother me. Because
I don't know. I feel like there are.
So all the fight scenes I have to go back and watch twice to kind of, I see whatever kind of happened.
I liked it in the episode.
I liked it slowing down.
There are moments where things are too fast, but there are also moments where things are too slow. And that was one of those moments where I went, that was a bit slow.
Okay,
I was wondering
think the context of the whole scene, if that had changed, it hadn't.
Yeah, to me it felt better in the episode. Like in the trailer,
it was a little bit better in the episode. Yeah, it was a little faster.
Episode, I felt, after we saw a bit more of the context of it.
I think also too because the fact that Nora was using her grenade launcher to propel her, that maybe that's what should have made her go faster because she was using the launcher to propel her faster. So I get I did get what you're saying. So Larissa, you said you were going to go into something.
Well, not just talk about Ren and Nora. I do want to point out that we haven't gone in fully into the intro yet. But in the intro, because I missed it at first because I was looking more at John dropping the map and stuff at that little train station bit. But Ren and Nora, I think it's Nora's got her arms around Ren.
Yeah, she had her arms around Ren.
I think there were two instances in the intro in this episode where that, because there was something else where there was another Nora moment.
That was the only one that I noticed.
That's the only one I noticed.
I think there was another one. I can't remember.
Really?
But
and at the end they're all together. They're standing very close together.
There's also the intro. Yeah. I think maybe at the end there. But I'm glad they're just putting that in there because they don't want to. They don't want to give Nora and Ren a lot of screen time, and that's fine. But they're just like in the background, just putting this little establishing thing.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned as well in previous Corner Remnants. And I just want little details, and this was a little detail like that, which I really liked.
Like in you always said in episode 1 of Volume 5, they just should have been holding hands on the couch, and that would have been enough.
Yeah.
So I get it. Just little things like that. And they're doing that now. Which is
little subtleties, because there has been a massive shift in their relationship in Volume 4. There was a big shift. So we need to see those little, like, subtle things changing in the background, like having her arms around him, holding hands, standing a bit closer even to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved I like Oscar swimming tunnel. Like I just love that.
Tunnel!
I just love that so much.
And I liked how we heard it sort of twice in a way because we had the first part of the fight.
We heard it from RWBY's perspective, then we heard it from Oscar's perspective.
We saw Nora, Jean, and Ren coming up, and Nora said, "Why is it always something?" And then, then in the second part of that, we see that again, but the
from
other
a different perspective,
and then tunnel. So we sort of understood what, it was sort of setting the time and.
Yeah, and it was a really cool way of showing how RWBY and that got into the tunnel without a huge shot or a back and forth shot. Like we just got let's show them how they get into the train here, so that we don't have to show it later.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, then that'd be just a really wide establishing shot, and it'd be kind of hard to tell whatever's going on. Just see them all get into the train. So I like that.
Yeah, I liked how it didn't draw out the fight scene too much either. We were able to get to really epic scenes at the start of the episode, and then partway through we got to see the same setting again, but the other side of it with Oscar and Crowmore and Dudley, and then of course the tunnel. So
yeah. I really liked how in this next scene, to me, it kind of established that Crow is a bit of a dick. Like, we know him as a really nice guy and all that kind of stuff. But again, he's a drunk. He's an old man.
He's a bit of a twat.
Yeah, he is. Yes, yeah.
Again, and there was a nice kind of bridge. Again, like even him, whether it was valid or not. You know, he was a dick to Winter when we first saw him, and it's cool just getting that reestablishment. You know, around RWBY, he's a really nice uncle, but when shit goes down, he's a forward-thinking, you know, straight ahead kind of person. So he's going to be, you know, he picked up a fucking guy with a broken arm and was giving him shit. Granted, he was, you know,
probably should have stepped back a bit there. I think he just let his anger get the better of him.
That's why I love they did that, also to show what makes RWBY and Crow different.
Yeah.
Yes, RWBY talked to Crow a lot, but they're not the same person.
Yeah.
You know, and again, establishing RWBY's leadership, just taking the more subtle approach, and John, again, being the good supporting character, comes in and does the same thing.
Yep.
Also being a leader. Again, it was just really, everything just was really nicely done. Then we get into, like, you know, again, like, oh, let's call back to Resemblance, because that's something we can use here. Let's just use it for the sake of using it. We also get a nice little Renora conversation, like a slight little one there. Again, like, there is, like, 1, 2, maybe 3 lines in this episode that like, you know, like, why saying he can amplify aura, it seemed like a bit of an odd line. It made sense, but it's just like, was that need to be said? Nora's, is it always something? Wasn't delivered amazingly.
I still liked it, but...
I liked it, but it's like, I don't know. But again, like,
it seemed like a Nora thing to say.
I'm really nitpicking here to say that, just to be fair, to say that. But again, I like those little things. And then in comes Oz, because we all trust and know Oz knows what he's doing.
Bloody Ozpin. He's got to stop telling half the truth.
Yeah.
I like that this one made a lot more sense. I have since heard more arguments as to why the bird thing was actually a bigger deal, at least to Yang, not so much to the rest of the group. But again, I like the idea that Yang doesn't like the whole bird thing, because that inform kind of made Raven, like, that was something that made Raven leave to some degree. Like, it was like, yeah, there's stuff to do with that. Like, you know, that was almost, you know, her getting that power was, even though it was her choice at the time, I'm sure, maybe, was her committing her life to Oz, and that in turn put too much pressure on her to then end up leaving. So I like that maybe that was Yang's interpretation of it. But again, a lot of Volume 5 is open to interpretation, and that's why it's a bit harder to like, because it's more what you think of each scene kind of thing. But yeah, again, like, half-truths. But again, I like RWBY. This isn't the time for that. There's no time to argue about why Oz is an idiot.
Yeah, RWBY's the only one who's like, it doesn't matter right now. Like, there are more important things right this second.
But I do like that, like, Weiss and Yang were like, we're angry at that, and Blake was more just like looking at Yang, kind of gauging her thing. Because again, it feels
like the expressions.
Again, Blake's out of the loop.
Well, not so much as out of the loop, but I like, again, it goes back to the whole poster where it's like Weiss and Yang, Blake and RWBY, Ozpin, Crow. Like, I like that it's like, again, I don't know how much the poster is going to tie in, but I still like the idea there might be a bit of a divide in the team with RWBY, Blake, and then Weiss and Yang. Yeah. Depending on who they side with, and Oscar and Crow. Oscar and Oz. Sorry.
Oscar.
So I like that little touch. And then like we said, we've got the John RWBY scene where they have to, like, split up.
Yeah.
One of the nicest little hints I like, and this is something that maybe hits me personally. I like that RWBY had the old pictures on her phone.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I noticed that.
We know she has at least the newer picture of Nora.
Yeah.
But I like the thing, because that's something I personally do. On my phone, all my pictures of my contacts are all really old photos from, like, school formals and stuff. Yeah. Like, they're all the old photos. I have newer photos, I just don't update them. So I like the idea that RWBY, at least with Nora, went back and put all the old photos in. Now her team's back together for communication.
Or maybe she just didn't change them. Although her scroll was destroyed, wasn't it? In Volume 3. Was it? Well, yeah, but destroyed her scroll.
Yeah, but in volume 4, she had Nora's contact.
She had a new scroll. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, she did.
But I like the fact that she, on this scroll, or at least the same one, I assume, she's gone back and changed it back to Nora's old picture.
Yeah.
Just kind of like a reminder to herself that things are back normal, everyone's back together, kind of thing. Just whether that was, like, intentional, I don't know. But I like to think that's a nice little detail. At least having the rest of the team RWBY girls all being the old photos, I think was really cool. Yeah, and I love the plan. I love the idea of, like, separating them and just, like, getting the relic to stay behind and getting all the passengers away. All just really, really nice, I think, really cool things there. I always forget, because it was introduced so subtly that the Grimm can use elemental blasts, that I always find it shocking when they do it, because it was introduced with the Phelan in Volume 4. So whenever they do it, I'm like, oh fuck, that's right, they can do that.
Yeah.
I think too that not every kind of Grimm has the ability to do that. There's certain kinds, and I think it will probably have a lot to do with the age of the Grimm as well. Because we know that they evolve over time. So yeah, it is. I agree though. It's always jarring when it happens because you're like, God, I forgot they could do that.
I know there are some mythos like lion creatures or lionels can breathe fire, so that makes sense for the manticores. I'm not too sure if I guess Asian dragons can have lightning breath. I'm not too sure. I don't quite remember. I'm not too much into those. But again, I
don't know.
Yeah, but again, I do like that is a thing. Even though we didn't see the actual dragon breathe dust, but
yeah.
And then there was the dragon Grimm itself. That thing.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. But he didn't use he didn't use any sort of breath. So rest in stone, Kevin.
There's one person we
need a Kevin update.
Yeah, we do need a Kevin update.
We just need a Kevin
update in general. Well, that was the thing. Like the train station was like Vale out of service. That was a cool little nutshell. And I had all the names of the kingdoms they mentioned in the Mistral World of Remnant.
Shion was on there. Yeah.
I didn't know Shion was on there.
Yeah.
But like Windpath and Kuchinachi, which are both names they mentioned in the World of Remnant for Mistral or Anima, whatever it was. That was a cool little nod. Does kind of lead into the idea that so there were trains to those areas, which I still don't think was the case.
We didn't see any tracks.
No.
I think this station was probably a train and like an airship station. I will have to imagine.
Yeah.
It wasn't just trains.
It's possible it's an airship hub. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm also of the 100% belief that the train lines only run along the east coast.
Yeah.
So there's no way they could have gotten transport. So Oscar probably came from the south up to Mistral.
It surely wouldn't be safe to have train lines going through central Mistral.
Yeah, whereas, and we know with Vale, most of the kingdoms run along the coastline. So the kingdom Mistral Plate runs along the coastline, like the Vale kingdom runs along that coastline.
Yeah.
So that's why the train lines connect through there. And the only train line we did see go into mainland was the Mountain Glen one. We also had that worked out. Not well.
We haven't talked about, what's her name? Maria?
Maria Calavera.
Yeah. Totally not Silver Eye Warrior.
Naz Katara. She is going to be interesting.
Adorable.
I'm really excited to see more about her.
Me too. I'm really excited for the next episode. I want to see more about her. I want to learn more about her. But she said like 7 words, and I'm like, I'm in love with this character.
I just love the score, the music score.
Yeah,
when she came out of the train.
That was amazing. It sounded like some jungle.
Still alive.
I
loved it.
It sounded like something out of a Ratchet and Clank or Spyro game. I loved it so much. It's so good. Maria Calavera.
Loved it. So good. I can't wait to see more from her.
Yeah, I loved on RWBY Rewind how they were just like. I just love how it's just funny seeing like the actual company, even though they don't know anything, to see the actual company just make so this is Silver Eyed Warrior, right? This is it was like a maiden. I love that in RWBY Rewind.
I think they spoke about it for like 5-10 minutes. Who is this old lady?
Yeah. Pishin says she has a bit of a Dia de los Muertos theme. Yeah, Day of the Dead theme.
With the skulls.
Yeah. And she reminded me of like the Atlanteans from Atlantis: The Lost Empire, and she also reminded me of oh god, what's her name? It's in my Discord.
Star Wars lady?
No, not Maz. It's in my Discord. I forget her name now, but yeah, it just she gave off the vibes of several different things.
Yeah,
and
just like a mash of them all together.
Yeah, she's like an amalgamation of all these different things put into one character.
Yeah,
which is cool. Yeah.
One of my immediate theories was, I wonder if this is a site into Mantle. Maybe she's from Mantle, and they're like an old school but techno culture, but Atlas is the techno culture. Yeah. Whereas Mantle was much more old school, and maybe that's where they're more shamanistic, maybe in Mantle, and that's why they were so outclassed by Atlas.
The thing that I actually found most interesting about her was in the intro, when it zoomed in on her like goggles and then Ruby's silver eye. Yeah, that's the thing I find most interesting about. Yeah,
well, I mean, she's still right. That'd be a hell of a fake out if she wasn't.
Yeah, it would be a shitload of a fake out.
She's just very knowledgeable about them or something.
Yeah, maybe she just knows about them.
If she is silver-eyed, that begs the question about the goggles. Like, can she even see anymore? Like, will this ability eventually claim like Ruby's sight, or you know, is this character a reflection of what Ruby could end up like?
Yeah.
Which is a bit scary.
Did the powers make her lose her eyes? Did someone from Salem's hunt her down because she's a Silver-Eyed Warrior? Because we know that they've done that before.
Smash. I see you there.
Hi, Smash.
Yeah, so definitely interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
And how did she get there? That's the other question. Is she just like a happening of circumstance, like she was in the right place at the right time? Or was she following them? Or is it just a coincidence? Like, obviously she's going to be significant in some way to helping Ruby with her silver eyes. Because that they told us that much in the intro. Yeah. But, is she there of her own, like, is she there deliberately or is she there by accident, is what I want to know.
I would, if I were to guess, I would say by accident. I'd say
it could have been a happy accident, yeah.
Maybe there's something to do with the silver eyes where they can sense their own kind. I don't know. But yeah, I imagine this is just someone who probably travels between Atlas and Mistral all the time, and just this was just one of probably many train crashes that have happened. And yeah, because she seemed like so casual about it. So I'm curious if maybe. I don't know, because depending on how old she was, I don't know if she could, I guess she could be a huntress, because the huntsmen are about, the idea of being a huntsman is about 80 years old, because that's when the kingdoms were created, the academies were. So I guess she could be like one of the original huntresses that's just old now. But I'm wondering, because that was something they kept saying on the Rewind, that she was a silver-eyed huntress. And I'm like, she could be silver-eyed but not a huntress, but I'm wondering now if she is a huntress. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like, obviously a retired old huntress.
A retired old huntress. Yet no talking about the preview clip for episode 2. This podcast is focusing only on episode 1. We are all reactors. We do not watch the previews. Don't watch
Trust me, guys. Trust me, chat. I'm trying not to say anything.
Let's talk about the intro then. Let's move away from
let's get to the intro.
Old lady Maz here.
I keep forgetting her actual name.
I'm calling her Maz, okay? She's Maz.
Alright, call her Maz.
Just Maz guitar is fine. Just pulling up the intro, because it goes very quickly back and forth, so I want to make sure I don't miss too much.
No, Maria's boring. Her name is Maz. That is a very strange name for a woman like her, Maria. It's like such a plain name. It's more a very interesting character.
It's a very more modern name. It's not like an old school name.
Maria feels like an old school name to me.
Calavera must be.
I don't know. But be careful if you do. Just Google it with reservation.
I wonder which
Cincy apparently.
I guess
Maria coming up with skulls.
It's coming up with like skulls and like Day of the Dead stuff.
And Calavera is a representation.
Calavera is the Spanish word for skull.
Yeah.
Oh. Calavera is the Spanish word for skull. Okay. I guess Maria must be the color name, but I don't know what color Maria.
It's coming up with like Day of the Dead skulls and that kind of stuff. So.
But I wonder what the name Maria, what color that relates to.
Maria.
I know Calavera is skull.
Well, it came up with something for Sensi. What's that?
I don't know Maria.
I don't know.
Oh, it's a skull. That's a skull.
Maria refers to Mary, which means sea of bitterness. Okay.
She didn't seem like a very bitter person.
No, she seemed very chirpy, actually, considering the train had just crashed and everyone else was not very chirpy.
I love that, because I was not expecting that at all. So I love to add it to, because I was not expecting that kind of
chirpiness.
Actually, I guess she's old enough where she might not have to be a coloured name, because she probably was born before that was even introduced. She might not have a colour name.
And you know what? She probably just doesn't give a crap.
Maybe.
So she's... Yeah. I feel like she's probably going to be like a Yoda sort of figure.
Yeah.
Yoda post the, Yoda 456 Yoda. Not 123 Yoda.
Although not depressed.
Yeah. No.
Not that Yoda was depressed, but
just
he wasn't exactly.
Crazy old lady who just kind of rolls with the punches.
Yeah, we'll see a bitterness. Yeah. Yeah, no, nothing was coming up.
I really like how the intro starts, and it goes Ruby, Yang Weiss. Like Weiss was the last one they showed.
Yeah, it was an interesting order.
It's an interesting choice. Which again is why I think that this might not relate to it, but I kind of feel like Weiss won't, unless they get to Alice, won't be a huge part of this volume, because she was so big in volume 4 and even kind of volume 5. So I'm wondering if maybe she's just going to be I think she's going to be the mum. She's going to be the supporting.
She's just going to be a supporter.
I don't know. I feel like she might. I feel like she might step up to the plate once they actually get to Atlas, because she still has a lot to resolve.
I'm saying until then, I'm not sure what, because also
until then,
Blake and Yang have their story. Ruby has her story with Maria. what story will Weiss have other than just supporting the rest of them?
We did just get a lot of like Weiss development in the last couple of volumes.
Yeah,
so.
Again, and now she's to the point where she is just a supportive character after all that development.
Which is fine. She can go on the backbench for a half a volume.
Because once we get to Atlas, she's going to get a lot of story time again.
Yeah.
Because
once we get to Atlas, she's got a lot to sort out with her family. So.
Oh yeah.
We then have the moon shutter of the intro.
Yes, I love that.
So
that's cool.
I guess I know it was obvious, but I guess this is the first time we kind of get. Okay, so the moon at one point wasn't always shuttered because I guess it could have always said that's just the moon of this world. That's just how the moon is, you know. Like
it definitely looks like some kind of cataclysmic event happened to the moon that broke it apart. Yeah.
Apparently, RWBY Volume 6 just happening broke the moon.
The hype was too real.
We may not have broken the site, but we broke the moon.
How have we failed? I
know.
We failed to destroy the site.
For shame.
Good job, Tim. Get ready for the next round.
We failed to break the site.
Yeah, I love, like you said, the little Renora moment.
Yes.
In the thing. And then it was Jean's shield popping up, knocked Oscar's magazine into Crow's face.
Yeah.
That's a cute little moment. I like that.
I like, too, that callback with Jean's shield popping open, because that used to happen quite a lot in Volume 1.
Oh, yes.
With his old shield. The same shield. Yeah.
Love it. Love it so much. We said, the Weiss and RWBY just joyfully running through the train, just being their cute little selves.
Blake and Yang being broody.
Yeah. I'm in the reflection. I do like that it seems to be, they're still, because again, like obviously, like Adam was there at the fall or at the Battle of Haven, but they didn't obviously see each other.
No.
But I'm curious if that's gonna be brought up at some point, that like Adam was there, or just because I
feel like Yang might be informed about that, because I feel like they might have had a moment to sort of. It's been 2 weeks since the attack on Haven.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like because all these, it's actually we keep seeing so many motifs between Yang and Adam and Blake and Adam, but never Blake and Yang together towards Adam. It's always them individually dealing with Adam, but they're not. I guess that's the whole point. Then when they solve out their issues, they can come together against Adam. But for now, it's individual fighting the same person, as well as each other. So that's. I'm really interested. I'm really interested how they're taking that, because again, we still haven't got them together against Adam.
It's true.
Wide shot of the train. Then we have the Silver Eyes zoom in scene, like we discussed. Then Crow being dragged down to the depths by Grim Arms.
Yeah, they're sort of like the Nakulavi arms to me.
Yeah, they did a bit in a way.
Yeah, they reminded me of that.
It looked like snakes almost too.
Just like a massive hands Grim, like it's like a blob Grim, just arms.
Yeah. I don't know if it's so much that like that was teasing a kind of Grim as it was just being a bit symbolic of like
that one. I think maybe
just
the
like
scene of
the
RWBY
Grim kind of like grabbing at Crow and RWBY.
Or if just Crow falling back in general, maybe Crow, because remember, this is the first time we've seen Crow be surprised by Ozpin, because even Crow didn't know about the relic being attracted to him. So I don't know, maybe this was like, I don't know, because I'm not sure how. Crow's an interesting character, because Crow's a character that probably could be killed at any point, but I don't know, like I can't, like Crow doesn't have death flags, but he doesn't have like guaranteed make it to the end either. So I really don't know.
From just that little bit in the intro of Crow like being dragged down by the hands, and then it showed RWBY fighting those hands alone in a dark cavern, I guess.
Yeah.
It kind of, to me, it's sort of like, for me, it spelled out like Crow, they could have the possibility that Crow is gonna either die or be taken away from them, and RWBY is going to have to...
not being there to help RWBY anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Much like how Winter wasn't there twice.
Yeah.
I think. I think the locations are like a mine or like a sewer. I think a mine is probably better. That's what I got from it. And not to be creepy, but the Grim grabbing RWBY was one of the most satisfying animations I've seen in the show. It just looks...
It looks
like
really
it's
cool.
actually grabbing hold of her and pulling her around, and then just her swinging her cycles. Look, like that little scene, which is one of the most satisfying things I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And it's just like a massive, like, 6 Grim arms. And it looks like it looks like a sewer entrance, but then it's got like mine shafts in it. So I really don't know. I guess this might be maybe in Mantle if we get that far, or maybe Argus is a mining town. I don't know. But it'd be interesting if because I know it's a Lord of the Rings thing, but the idea of like mining too far deep and finding something dark, like finding like a Grim monster from over mining dust.
Mine's
I'm wondering,
Mori.
have we seen? Yeah. I'm wondering if we've seen a connection between dust and like Grim.
Well,
I guess
we know there are dust mines in Atlas, so
yeah. Well, we know there are dust mines all over Remnant.
Not Atlas, Mantle. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know there are dust mines all over Remnant. But I'm just trying to think because I'm wondering if we've seen a correlation between dust deposits and Grim. The only one I can think of is the lances over the lake. There weren't any Grim in Vacuo, despite that having the biggest dust mine in the world. So I guess not. But just relating to like if Grim are found where dust is basically what my point is.
Yeah.
Considering there's like maybe a mine and there's a Grim arms kind of thing. One thing we didn't mention, and one thing that I'm not bothered by in the slightest, but I don't mind the fact that they made the relic smaller at all.
It was too big.
Yeah.
It was too big. And they just made it smaller. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
They just overlooked it when they put it in Volume 5. Which I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, they did.
Or hell, we don't know what the relic does. Maybe the relic can shrink. I don't fucking know, but it doesn't matter to me at all. What the size of the relic is.
Who knows what the damn thing can do? But
all I know is that it attracts Grim. That's all it does. It attracts Grim. That's all it does.
Yeah. Well, in Volume 5, when Yang did pick it up, I did remember thinking, God, that's enormous. Yeah. Like, how are they gonna... That's gonna be awkward to transport, but the fact that they made it smaller makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see why it would bother some people. It doesn't bother me that much.
Nah, it doesn't bother me that much.
But I was like, yeah, it would have been really Gumby to have this massive freaking, lantern just hanging off of little Oscars.
I mean, it made sense because lanterns it was a big one, but that can be like a size like a big lantern. But yeah, it was oversized.
It was way too huge.
It was also to overexpress how important it was. Like it was meant to be like a big significant thing. You know, if Yang had found that, it'd be like, what the fuck is this little thing? So I think for the context of the moment, it was fine. But yeah, I think having it smaller here just makes more sense.
It does.
And I like the fact that Oscar had it, and now RWBY has it. So I'm wondering if, and we have the scene of Oscar in the grounds. Maybe they decide that Osman shouldn't have this. Maybe Osman would misuse it. Maybe Osman just shouldn't have it.
We did see those couple scenes in the trailer, which could lead to that.
Yeah. So and it's interesting that they give it to RWBY, but I don't know who else they'd give it to. So I guess that's fine.
Also, to the bit in the intro where Jean grabs, probably Ozpin. It wouldn't be Oscar. Ozpin by the shirt and shoves him against the wall. And,
I'm really looking forward to that.
Jean made it very clear all the way through Volume 5 that he does not trust Ozpin. Yeah. And he's sick of Ozpin telling him half-truths, and he's sick of Ozpin holding things back.
He doesn't trust, he only the only reason he trusts Crow to some degree is because in the Knucklebeard fight, he realized that, he had to help RWBY in that little moment they had, kind of. But even though, he clearly doesn't. But much like Yang, he didn't let it overcome. He didn't let it, apart from the episode 8, with the talk, he didn't let it overcome him. Like when he met Oscar, he didn't freak out then, just like how Yang didn't freak out when she reunited with Blake. They're not letting those issues get to them until it's a necessary moment.
Yeah.
Then we have probably one of the most important bits of the intro. We have this woman walking through a crowd with like a beige, kind of like a white almost, walking through the streets with so it's like pale pink highlights, and a brown hood.
Yep.
So that's 100% Cinder.
Well, we're still tossing it between Neo and Cinder. Because in one shot her hand looks normal, another shot it looks curled.
I agree. No, Neo will be in this volume, but that is not Neo.
I went back and scrutinized the fuck out of the shots with this hooded figure in them. Yeah. That first one where Torchwood's hat flies across, it's the shot just before that when it's the wide on this hooded figure.
Yeah, I got it up now.
2 normal human hands in that shot.
And then in another
Definitely,
one,
I have scrutinized the crap out of it. The next time we see that hooded figure when it's all dark and they've got a sword, definitely a bandaged clawed hand.
Everyone seems to forget that Neo can make herself look whatever she wants to. Very well could be just she's Neo's copying what Cinder looks like or something.
I think they are deliberately throwing us off by using this hooded figure and having Torchwood's hat there and then showing us Cinder's sword. They're definitely trying to throw us off, but I think they are both in the intro at separate points.
Are you sure? That cloaked one could be both of them. I'm looking at the wide shot and it looks like she has the Grim taped hand.
I couldn't see it in the wide.
I saw a second one which looked it was sort of on a different angle. I was going to show it to you.
I couldn't see it.
But it's like her right hand is pale and her left hand's white and looks a bit more jagged. But I don't know. I
saw one shot it looked normal, another shot it looked mangled, so I don't know.
I reckon it's both of them at separate points, and they're just doing it just to throw us off.
Yeah. And again, regardless, It's, Roman's hat. Everyone's got umbrellas. In the fight scene, the parasol is in one frame. The parasol is there.
One frame. You have to
it is there.
frame by frame it, but it is there.
Yes. And so whether or not this is Neo fighting Cinder for revenge for Roman, whether just them end up teaming up to go after RWBY, I don't know. Regardless, I'm very excited with both these roads both characters going down. I'm glad Neo is coming back, and I'm glad we're gonna get like this Zuko Cinder situation. So I'm very excited for this.
Honestly, I would not care if Cinder went and marinated in a swamp for a whole volume. Like, I'm so sick of Cinder and Adam.
Yes.
I'm just glad that there's probably not going to be Raven this volume, because I couldn't handle all three of them again for a whole volume.
But they're so good. They're so good at being bad characters, though.
Cinder, I'm just like...
No, Cinder's not a great character. Like, flat out. She's a pretty bland character.
Can this bitch just die already?
I like Adam because Adam is an actual despisable character. Which makes him a good written character because you actually want to hate him.
I don't want to hate him. I just want him to go away. But
if he was away, then Blake and Yang wouldn't be as good characters as they are.
I know. I want Blake and Yang to slay his ass. But can I do without the broody tantrum throwing? Yes, definitely. I'm like, oh my god, he's such. I hate everything about him.
This just boils down to how people enjoy their shows and what they want to see and what they don't want to see, kind of thing.
Adam is the Joffrey of RWBY. I just hate him so much. I can't wait until he dies.
Whereas, I really like Raven. I like that she's just this.
We have different opinions on Raven.
No, I don't know that. Again, I understand because again, a lot of her motivations and a lot of her opinions are based on stuff that we don't know the full details yet. So it is hard to sympathize with her. I get that. But I'm just the kind of person who always looks for sympathy even if it's not there.
I just feel like she's really selfish.
Yeah.
And,
I'm not saying she isn't, but that doesn't make me actually hate her and never want to see her on screen again.
Well, it's not just that she's selfish that makes me hate her. It's just that everything that she does and says, she contradicts herself at every turn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't know what you want. So you're just taking it out on everybody else.
Yeah.
And it drives me insane.
But I'm just curious, are you saying that from a story, what we're seeing on screen point of view, or a behind the scenes, you don't like her as a character kind of point of view?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the second one, but again, we disagree, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't like her as a character. I just don't like the kind of person that she is. Selfish and manipulative. I hate that. Yeah.
Okay.
And she doesn't know what she wants. She clearly has no idea what she's doing.
No, I get that. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Okay, fair enough. Difference of opinion, I get
Blonde
that.
girl in the intro.
The what?
The
blonde girl at the statue, yeah.
The statue.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying Jean's ancestor. Some people
Why are people saying that?
Because it's blonde.
Why are people saying that? It's so random.
Others are saying it's one of the maidens, which I'm leaning towards.
Okay. Hands up, Winter Maiden. Yeah,
really?
I knew that was going to happen.
Really?
Yes! I think she's the Winter Maiden.
Long Lost Love, always been an original love, or Salem.
Not Salem.
Nah, I still don't think Salem was human.
I think that Salem is about, I think that Salem...
Why the Winter Maiden? I don't get where the Winter Maiden
That's just the vibes I get from her.
Yeah, we're heading towards Atlas, so possibly Winter.
I also don't see who else she could be, because I don't think it's Salem, because I don't think Salem was ever human, to the same degree that Oz was never human. He's always been the wizard. To the best of our knowledge, anyway. I think Salem, though, I still see Salem as, the mother of Grimm. I don't think she was ever human, to the extent that everybody else
You don't think that they were both cursed? Him with immortality, her with Grimm?
No, I don't think so.
I've read some really interesting fanfics like that, where she sort of became cursed, which was really interesting, but I still don't think she was human.
That's a good point, Christian. It could have been a previs maiden.
I think it's a maiden.
It could be someone that's not alive right now.
This is definitely not the current Winter Maiden. 100%. I'll agree. This could be a former maiden or a former someone.
It could be someone that's not even alive now.
Yeah, I don't think so. I definitely don't think. I don't think this is a flashback scene. This is nothing that's in the current day. I think.
And that statue, I'm pretty sure that was of Ozpin, of one of his previous incarnations.
Yeah, well, we saw his incarnation.
This could have been like this could have been like the first. Like I think this could have been like the first Ozpin or something.
Yeah.
But,
and we know that we're probably very likely getting Ozpin related flashbacks in this volume because of the previous incarnations shown in the intro.
Got the spirit, and also got like trailer of where I think it sounds like reverence, and the guy floats down. I think that's one of Ozpin's past lives, but that's just
it could have been.
Might be. But yeah, then we get like a glimpse of the past lives. We have the bless and love the medieval Oz, best Oz.
Yeah.
Best Oz boys, best Oz. I don't think this was the King of Vale, but I very well could
be. He looks very royal and kingly.
It looks like it could have been.
It's just like I don't know, makers like this and the Water of Remnant King of Vale just don't look the same to me.
The only thing is, of course, thinking of the times and things like that, then it wouldn't, unless they're showing them in not the right order. Because they showed that one first, then the others.
They wouldn't be in chronological order.
No.
You don't think so? You don't think there could have been four lives in the 80 years? Because this could have been that age of when they all died.
Yeah.
This
is the thing.
We could have only possessed for like 20 years at a time before he moved on.
We don't know how old Ozpin is. He could be thousands of years old.
Apparently he was one of the youngest headmasters to take over Beacon, so he must have been
the Ozpin we knew.
I think the Ozpin we knew was younger than I think we always thought he was.
So, and how long ago was the war? It was
80
years.
80, nearly 82 years now.
And he's already looking elderly now, so I don't think there would be enough time for those reincarnations in between the king, if he was the king.
The king one was at 82 years ago. He could have died just after the war. Then we have 80 years to go through 3 lives.
And Ozpin already looked really old at the time Team RWBY get to Beacon, and apparently he was the youngest headmaster to take over Beacon, so he must have been pretty young.
I don't think he was that old, though.
I don't think he was.
At the most, he could have been like 50.
Yeah.
I don't even think he was anywhere close to that.
He looks old, though.
At the most.
We know he was one of the youngest headmasters appointed, but again, how long he's been a headmaster is a different question, I guess. We don't know how long he's been a headmaster for. And this is assumingly the first Ozpin, granted of only probably only 2 or 3, that actually became the headmaster. Before they weren't the headmasters, they just were. This time he decided, this time I'm going to put myself as the headmaster. Which is interesting because he's always had 4 lieutenants, which were the headmasters, but this time he was one of the headmasters. Therefore, then Crow became the other lieutenant.
Yeah.
In a sense, or Glinda, depending on your point of view. It's just interesting how that works. But again, I'm very excited to see Ozpin, like, flashbacks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Then, we got the Jean-Oscar confrontation, which hopefully, finally.
Yeah.
Waiting for that. Or the Jean-Oz confrontation, to be fair.
I feel like poor Oscar is going to become the punching bag for everybody who's mad at Ozpin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, poor Oscar, he's just the carrier of this soul who is
and I like the idea that Ruby's going to be the only one who kind of notices that. She's going to be the only one who kind of sees that, and that's why those two are going to get along as well as they do, because Ruby's going to be the one who's like sticking up for Oscar, where the other guys don't care. The other guys just think this is Oz.
Yeah.
Whereas RWBY, I think, is going to be the one to kind of like step up and kind of.
seeing it as Oscar.
Yeah. So shipping or not, I think that friendship's going to get stronger. I think this volume maybe. Or we learn more about Oz and everyone starts to hate him. Either way,
RWBY's also like closer to Oscar's age, so I feel like they bond a bit better.
RWBY always sees the good in people too, so I think she'll just see Oscar as Oscar while everyone else sees him as Ozpin. It was the same with Penny and other people as well. She always sees the good in people.
Oh, Penny, we haven't even talked about Penny.
Sorry!
Don't say the P word!
Vicky, you might want to exit now, because I know you're watching RWBY, so you might want to disappear before we mention some spoilers. Especially since I dropped the Penny bomb.
But I'm very excited, because it's going back through it. I'm very excited to see a possible Cinder Neo fight. I'll be very excited to see that. I think
that would be cool. I think Neo might be a little bit screwed though.
Yeah.
And also like
I'm curious like how weakened Cinder's gonna be, because she had the maiden powers in Volume 4, but assumably couldn't use them. So she clearly you can have the maiden powers and not be that powerful.
Yeah. And people were talking about the fact that Cinder in the intro appears to have like a forged sword. It looked like green and orange, I thought I could see. But it's very dark, so it's hard to see. But it was an actual sword, whereas the other times we've seen her fighting recently, she's like conjured weapons out of thin air.
Yeah.
But this one looks like
a forged... It just looks like the last sword she had in Volume 5, so it was too dark to see.
It looked to me to be like a forged steel sword of some description, but...
I mean, I guess...
It's very hard to see.
It's way too dark to actually see.
Yeah.
But it could be, because she had them. She had steel swords in the flashback in Volume 3. So she originally had real sword, but then she got rid of them because her semblance, I think. Maiden powers? We still don't fucking know.
Probably maiden powers. I would say it's an elemental thing.
Yeah, because still don't know what the fuck this bitch's semblance is.
I don't know.
unless Ruby's line about glass not being a semblance was just like a misdirection, but I don't know. Cinder's
I feel like the reason when it's not very clear is because Cinder's not only using her semblance, she's using probably like black
it's also
magic
one of those things where
as well.
Yeah, and
Cinder's character over the volume has changed much the most out of any behind the scenes character, because the maiden power, the main concept, was only introduced in volumes 2 and 3, even from a behind the scenes standpoint, because she was getting all this dust, so she would do what she did at maiden, but not with the maiden powers basically. But when they introduced the maiden powers, they were like, oh, well, she doesn't need dust to do this then. So she did the same thing she would have done, but now was classed as maiden powers and not dust.
Yeah.
From what I've interpreted from behind the scenes stuff they've mentioned. Then we get the really awesome it reminds me of the volume 2 intro where they do the flights and they kind of seamlessly transition into the next character.
Yeah.
And the intro where they're fighting the manticores, like they keep swapping between the four girls.
I love that little fight bit at the end.
That
of
was
the intro.
really well animated too.
It looks awesome.
Really fluid, really smooth.
Love the end shot.
Yeah.
Of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 characters there. Awesome. Again, Weiss, best support main.
Helping Ruby up at the end.
Yeah.
I love Oscar there, Blake there, Yang there, Ren, the little Renor moments in the back there. Ren's got his hand on Nora's shoulder.
Oh, I kind of missed that, but I saw them standing together, yeah.
And Maria got Crow in the background. And it's just...
it was such a good intro. I think it might be my favourite intro.
Yeah. It's definitely a great one.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the song. We haven't spoken about the song.
Yeah, I was trying to get the lyrics up, but I was having trouble finding them.
It's on Flint's Twitter.
Yeah, it's on Flint's has it. So it's either on his Twitter or you can go to his YouTube page to watch the video.
I think that this intro is my new favourite intro.
I just love the lyrics, how they're just,
It's very metaphor. It's a very metaphor-heavy song.
It's very vague. It's the vaguest of the songs I've thought so far. The lyrics are, like, a lot of the other songs, the lyrics have been very on the nose. And, to be fair, they never make sense at the start of the volume, but they make sense at the end. But this one seems very vague. I'm like, okay, I can't really draw a lot from this.
I like the fact that it's not really explaining super much.
No.
I can hear my echo in your guys' mic or something.
Yeah, in the mic. Sorry, I tried to fix it so much that you wouldn't get it, but it might be a little bit of an echo.
Like, When It Falls, I think, is the one that was the most, like, on the nose. Like, this is all about to go to shit. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Like, that's what When It Falls was.
I think Time to Say Goodbye was very straightforward, but it wasn't necessarily super obvious.
I think Time to Say Goodbye is another one that was kind of more symbolic than on the nose, Yeah.
But even
it was all about growing up, and we've got like 4 episodes where the characters talk about growing up, and I'm like, oh, this is so awesome.
This will be the day as well, like, not the intro part, but the full song, like, the second lot of lyrics is very much talking about,
the world
like,
needs a great defender, your world's in the way of harm, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's about everything's about the darkness.
And that was more like a commentary on what the show will be as a whole, I think, because it was the first one.
It was the first one, so yeah.
That song was saying, like, this is RWBY, this is what RWBY's going to be for the next 10 or so years.
And Let's Just Live was more like the behind the scenes song. Like
Let's Just Live was the recovery.
Yeah.
Like, that song was like, okay, it's all over now,
It is one of those things where I always feel bad about saying it. I know a lot of people disagree with me, which actually does surprise me, that Let's Just Live is one of my least favourite intro song. But I know it's a lot of people's favourites, and that always surprises me. Like, that really surprises me. Let's Just Live is one of them. Because
I love the song overall, but as an intro,
that's my point.
Was
it's not a good intro. Yeah, the intro visuals weren't great, and I don't think it uses an intro song worked as well as the. And again, it wasn't written as an intro song. It was written as a Volume 2 song for Blake and RWBY, I think, or something like that. It was meant to be like, it was written, when Blake was being all moody, it was written for that. But then they reworked it and wrote it for the 1-4 intro.
Yeah.
I remember Jeff saying that.
And Triumph, I really like Triumph. I think it's
Triumph. I like the visuals.
The Triumph was really good. Yeah.
So I got the lyrics here.
The full version of Triumph didn't add much for me to the song.
Yeah.
It didn't. Like, that's why it doesn't stand out to me as a great intro, because the second half of it is more the same. Whereas this song is so different, but I like it. And this whole to me, I'm curious actually what you guys think, because do you guys think that this is part 3 of the arc, or do you think this is the start of a new arc for the show?
I was asking the same question, because I was
I
like,
think this is a new arc.
I felt like the Haven arc ended at the end of Volume 5, but now I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Because we haven't left Mistral right away.
I don't know. I just this to me felt so different. This to me just felt so different that it just, I don't know if it can be considered the same as, and not to mention, in terms of length, the 2 volumes, Volume 4 and 5, was probably more than what one.
Yeah, and that was my reasoning for thinking that the Haven arc had ended at the end of Volume 5. Yeah. But I think it will become clearer the further on into Volume 6 we get, whether this is the start of another arc, which I still think it is.
I just think from the animation, the visuals, and the music, it just feels so different to Volume 5, whereas Volume 4 and 5 felt very similar.
Yeah, and also, like, Team RWBY's back together now. We have this whole new, like, we have to get the relic to Atlas sort of thing going on. This feels like the beginning of another arc.
Yeah.
Rather than...
But again, like you said, we'll have to wait and see what gets, like, a reference and, like, what gets the stuff.
Alright, we got the lyrics to Rising here.
Yeah.
So, stay close, move fast, the darkness cannot last. Self-explanatory. No hope, no path, but we've got a dream to catch. And we cannot wait, trust the way we're made, the sparrow's born to fly. The mountains tower, the river knows to reach the sea, rain will help the flowers be, we're the same, you and me. So that line is the only one where I'm like, we're the same, you and me. That could mean a lot of different things.
I think it's meant to be symbolic of, like, Team RWBY knowing what they're doing and, like, knowing what they have to do. But it revolting back to Volume 5, where it's not destiny, it's not fate, it's not predetermined. But they know what they have to do. But it's, again, like, it's them. It's not destiny. It's not fate. It's not them. They don't have to do this. This is what they themselves feel like they...
It could also be, like, with RWBY and her silver eyes, like,
I was just thinking that, yeah.
Because silver-eyed warriors, so she's born to be a warrior. This is the way she was made. Something along those lines.
Which hopefully ties into the idea that RWBY, going back to Volume 1, doesn't want to be special, and I kind of like that idea of why she doesn't want to use the silver eyes, because it feels like it's almost like an unfair advantage. Like, she wants to prove herself as herself. Yeah. I personally love that story concept, but I understand it might not be everyone's favorite. But I love the idea of someone getting given a power they don't want because they want to prove it so they can do something themselves.
Yeah. And also, she was always saying, I don't want to be the bee's knees. I don't want to be special. I just want to be normal. Because she's not exactly normal. But, you know, what is normal? Who can say what that is? But she's always been a bit eccentric and a little bit different. And she gets it from her dad more likely than anything else. But, she was born special, whether she likes it or not. She was born with this thing that makes her incredibly special.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sure.
The lightning doesn't take advice from anyone. The willow doesn't need to learn to stand. As sun seeks day, we'll find our way, and we'll catch that dream together someday soon. We're rising like the moon. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's all about, like, this is what they were born to do, and this is, I don't know.
I just think it's their interpretation of what they have to do. But again, I back to Volume 5, but it's not considered destiny, not considered fate.
Yeah.
It's just their own interpretation of it, I guess. Of destiny, in a sense, like how Pyrrha had a different interpretation of destiny.
Yeah, it's true.
Compared to the more common one. Something to, like, that degree, I think. There's a different interpretation of fate and destiny, I think. In relation to this and the Volume 5 intro.
Oh, sorry for yawning.
And I think also, like, after the Triumph, because, like, the Triumph was all about, you know, the attack on Haven, and they did triumph there, and they did achieve victory for the moment. But now this song is, like, talking about how, like, their time is against them, and they're sort of having to sink or swim in the situation that they're in. They have to find their way. They don't have a choice. So
So it's almost like they've won a fight now. Now it's war. Now it's war. Like, you know, like because until now they've always kind of lost. Yes, they won the Volume 2 ending, but that didn't really, you know, that wasn't even meant to happen. You know, that was just them going about their jobs. That wasn't a battle to win.
I think it's also like talk about how they've sort of been thrust into this situation where and they just got to stick together.
They just got to run with it.
They got to run with it. They got to work together as a team, and
which is why I always like them reestablishing why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
like Yang's doing it because RWBY's doing it. RWBY's doing it because this is her dreams. You know, this is always what she wanted to do. This is what she feels is what she has to do. Weiss is doing it to prove like, you know, it's to prove herself to herself and to her family and to all that kind of stuff.
And also because she wants to be with her team and
Yep.
because the alternative sucks. Like,
and whereas, you know, and Blake is doing it because this is the biggest thing in the world that's wrong. You know, this is the biggest fight there is to fight. This is the biggest injustice there is to rectify.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
She's a justice warrior. That's why she's there. Yeah. And then there's Crow.
At this point, he's just too far in deep. He just drinks to get through the day.
He's in way too deep. He couldn't dig himself out if he wanted to.
No.
Yeah. He's gonna live and die at Ozpin's side, which is depressing to think about. But that's just who he is. And also, I think he's a greater good kind of person as well. And he's like, this is bigger than me. Like, I don't get to make the choice for the world.
Yeah. Well, we've been going for almost 2 hours now, guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Good lord.
Yep. So we probably should wrap it up.
We probably should.
Does anyone have any questions they want to ask us before we wrap up the stream?
Throw your questions in the chat.
Yes.
Yes, please.
And if you're watching on YouTube, post them in the comments. We'll answer them as long as nothing relating to episode 2.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited for 3 o'clock in the morning tonight, where it's bloody the episode 2 and the.
Is it going to be 3 o'clock in the morning now?
2? Is it 2? It might be 2.
I thought it was 2.
No, it's 2:01 your time. It's 1:31 my time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually a lot earlier than last volume, because last volume it was not till 3:30 my time and 4 your time, I think it was.
Yeah, and our reactions might be late because they haven't been unblocked
They're
yet.
not unblocked yet, so I really don't know if they're going to be up tomorrow.
But Dan's got cleared. I saw that pop up when we were talking. So
actually, can you pass me my phone? I'll check one last time, see if ours is cleared.
It might be, ours might be just a little late.
This new Rooster Teeth website now, it hides the scheduled videos, so now all the titles and stuff don't come out early.
Yeah.
I think Verve still post that stuff.
It's cleared. Thank God, it's cleared. All right, I'll schedule that.
Too far away.
Yours should be cleared as well then.
Or not too far.
Oh God, I was starting to really stress about that.
That's at a 48-hour mark. We're like, it's been 48 hours. They haven't been reviewed
like,
yet.
hurry up! They have to come out in like 12 hours. Oh goodness. Thank God for that.
Mine's good.
It's up there.
Mine's
Awesome.
up there now too.
Alright, so our reactions will be out on time.
Yeah, so if you're watching this on YouTube, they should be out.
Yeah, if you're watching this right now, they will be out now. They will have been out this morning. Yeah. Because this will go up at 1 p.m-ish tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll post this at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Yeah. So 24 hours after it was on Twitch.
Yeah, because Twitch affiliate exclusivity. That's the only reason.
24 hours.
They have to be Twitch.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
24 hours. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the only reason they don't get posted straight away.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So they have to be exclusive to Twitch for 24 hours, and then they can go wherever.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Learn something new every day.
Yes. And that's why we're trying to live stream on Saturdays, so that they do go up on Sundays when the episode's available. Yeah.
Yep.
I also wouldn't be surprised if they post like a preview of the episode onto YouTube tomorrow.
They may do.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do like a couple minutes or something like that.
Like the ones they put on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they have posted,
they didn't do it for episode 1 though. They just did the intro, didn't they?
No, just put the intro on YouTube. Yes.
They released the intro. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised.
For Chibi, they'll post another like 40 seconds.
Yeah, they post Chibi stuff. They've posted whole episodes of Chibi on YouTube recently, and like.
Well, I'm saying, when the first episodes came out, they were just uploading uploading the Twitter, Facebook stuff, but onto the YouTube. So hey, come watch the rest of this over here.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see something go up on the Rooster Teeth channel.
It'll probably be the first part of the fight because they did
put that up. Just as like a thing of them being like, hey. Yeah. The episode's out for the public. Here's where you can go watch it. Yeah, because it won't be on YouTube.
It's so weird. I keep remembering that all the stuff we saw in the trailer and the intro. Oh, I guess not the intro. No, I guess not the intro. For some reason, I thought the intro stuff would happen in the first few episodes, but I guess that's not true. But the trailer stuff does. But not the intro stuff. I don't know why I thought that.
Intro is more symbolic than anything, but it does allude to things that will happen throughout. The volume.
So obviously, Neo and Cinder return at some point.
Yeah.
And I was actually, at first I was surprised they put a Neo tease in the intro, but I was like, if they I was like, it makes sense that they've done it that way.
It's such a demanded character that I think they need to kind of tell you ahead of time that it's coming.
Yeah, exactly. Like they need to build up the hype for it almost.
Whereas like someone like Cinder, they could have avoided putting her in the poster.
Well, they've been saying, she was in the poster. I was surprised she was in the poster.
That's something they could have avoided. But at the same time, they don't want to drag it out. Maybe because like they could have had her off screen for a volume or two. But I don't think they want to drag Cinder's death out, because I think a lot of people obviously don't think it was the case. So it's like
The thing that shocked me most was when the poster was released, how many people went, Cinder's alive, and I was like, yeah. Did anybody think she was dead?
That's what I mean. Again, I saw a post about this earlier today. Do you think a person who can fly and breathe fire, or like use fire, is going to die from being frozen and falling?
No.
I'm like, that's a very good point. She can fly and use fire.
Also, no body, no death. Anime 101.
Yeah.
And also, an interesting point. The academy is assumingly on top of the mountain of Mistral.
Yeah.
So they go underground, but yet Mistral has an underground market. So she could have just fallen from the vault down into just the underground.
She just like crashed through the roof of someone's fruit stall. Like,
exactly.
Oh god! There's an ice sculpture falling from the sky.
Exactly. Trying to fall into someone's freaking like a little like river or pond or something that's down there. Like
she definitely would have had time to like heat herself up and get herself out of that. I never thought for a second that she was dead.
No,
but
I never thought.
I'm curious how damaged she's going to be to the point where she could fight Neo and be beaten, possibly. Like, I'm curious how weakened she's going to be.
We haven't seen enough of Neo to know really what she's capable of.
Yeah.
She kicked Yang's ass in Volume 2.
Yeah.
But Yang, now...
Her fighting style was redirecting someone's power. So maybe she's really good fighting someone like Cinder.
She could be.
Whereas like someone like Pyrrha, it's all about outperforming and being a better fighter. Whereas with Cinder, she wasn't. And that's why she lost. But maybe with someone like Neo, who's about redirecting, maybe that would be more of her to her advantage.
Or they may not even end up fighting at all.
Maybe not.
Pyrrha could have had that fight, but she made a few mistakes that cost her life. So and I think she went in, gung-ho, guns blazing, with absolutely no plan, and completely outmatched. She was always going to lose.
She knew the chances.
She knew that this was a suicide run.
Yeah, but she felt that it was still something she had to do.
Yeah.
And in the story sense, she ended up doing what she needed to do. If it wasn't for her, RWBY wouldn't have ever beaten
exactly.
Cinder.
Her death was necessary for RWBY, and it's a terrible thing to have to sacrifice Pyrrha for RWBY to unlock her potential, but it needed. It was always going to happen that way.
In a sense, it also unlocked Jean's potential.
Yeah.
As well, maybe not as a fighter, but like maybe as just as a character.
Yeah, Pyrrha was no longer there to hold his hand, and he had to step up to the plate, and he did. He did.
Well, I think we should wrap this up.
I think we probably should.
Yeah, no one's asking any questions, so
But thank you guys for anyone who joined us. We knew that there was a lot of other content out in the world right now that you could have watched. So we're very grateful that any of you have decided to spend the day with us. And since it is the RWBY season, unless I'm going to get told otherwise, this is going to be weekly for every episode throughout Volume 6. So Season 2 will be a thing. Unfortunately, Beck will not be joining us every week, sadly.
No.
But it has been very much a pleasure having you here.
Yeah, thank you. It's always a pleasure being here. And of course, I will be doing the Boopcast weekly from next weekend. This week's a bit odd because I'm still here and I have to fly home tonight, get up at an ungodly hour tomorrow, watch episode 2, record my reaction, edit and upload it. I'm not going to have time for a podcast tomorrow. So Boopcast will be happening on Monday this week. But going forward, we will be live streaming the Boopcast every Saturday right before the corner of Remnant.
Yeah.
So we'll start at 8 a.m. Australian Central Daylight Time.
Which is 8:30
and finish before these guys start.
No, wait. No, it'll be...
So there's like a chance that me and Larissa will have to do two podcasts.
There is a chance, So if we have you guys on the Boopcast, you'll then have to do the corner of Remnant straight away. Yes. Which I thought we might have you guys on the Boopcast individually to avoid that happening. So it's just a nightmare scheduling things this year because there's no 3-day gap between first members and public anymore. It's a week. So we're we have to cram everything into Saturday. So, yeah. And then, of course, the reactions and the podcast go up on YouTube on Sundays. So that's just the way it has to be. That's the way it has to work. So, and we'll work the kinks out as we go. Yeah. But that's the plan anyway. So every Saturday you'll have the Boopcast from 8 a.m. Central, and then at 11 a.m. Eastern you'll have the Corner of Remnant. Is she holding Neo?
Yes, it's Pocket Neo.
Pocket Neo.
It's Pocket Neo. It's become a thing on the Corner, and could you pass me Pyrrha, please?
I don't want to touch Pyrrha.
I was talking back with that on the stream yesterday.
This plushie is the strangest looking thing. I own this plushie, and it freaks me out.
The Great One and Weissfu.
Weissfu and Pocket Neo.
Good lord.
All hail the Great One.
Now that Penny's coming back, now that Neo is coming back. Fuck me.
Okay.
I want to see this scene. I want to see this scene now. Now that Neo is coming back. Although if or Penny can be there as well, that's fine. I'll take that.
Good lord.
Imagine if Penny comes back, but as a little chibi robot. It's like a little thing.
Oh no.
Also,
okay.
I am still not too mad about it, but I still say we didn't get a Weiss Blake Scars thing.
Well, we may still. But that's still that. I guess Mr. is all about fashion, so I guess
all of her's not right. Have you seen her? Look how long her freaking legs are. That's not right. Oh my gosh. The Weiss thing is pretty though, I'm jealous.
Yes. Weissfu. Weissfu and the Great One send you off.
Kill me. Get me off this podcast.
Okay, so basically next time Beck's here, she has to bring an equivalent character to add to the lore.
God.
Alright guys. Thank you all for coming
watching.
We'll see you next week.
Yes, we'll see you next week. Thank you all for watching. Bye.
Bye.